Hello everybody! Hello! How are you guys doing on Wednesday? on this Wednesday. Thank you Crimson for the Prime sub. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? Any lurkers that want to speak up? I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, it feels like it's been like much longer since my last stream, even though I streamed like Friday last week. It's my last stream. I don't know.
It just feels like it's been like a long time, and it's just like, man, do I even know how to stream anymore? Is it gonna be scuff because I've just forgotten everything? But hopefully not, because I opened the game first. I just realized I forgot to open the throwing system. So, you know, not too scuff, but you know, we haven't officially started, but you know, it happens sometimes.
I'm doing great. It's weird how Twitch gives me the option to show the Prime message even though I subscribed with Prime a few weeks ago. Interesting.
Twitch is weird sometimes. Okay, you guys might see the throwing system open up here in a sec.
No? Maybe so, maybe no. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now the throwing system works. So now if anybody wishes to bonk, that will happen. But for now, we shall go over here and go back to Hinamizawa. It has been quite some time.
I can't even remember. When did we finish the last chapter? That had to have been like sometime a month or two ago.
Feels like forever ago. When did we have the finger trauma stuff? I don't remember. Oh well. Also, I'm sticking with the old sprites because I don't know. I like the charm of the old art. Also, let me turn down the desktop audio a smidge. If I need to turn it up, please let me know. But I feel like the crickets in Higurashi are like very loud this time around. Love how committed you've been streaming to. Yeah. I wish I was more committed to getting back to watching the anime, but my backlog. Right. Oh my gosh. I have so many animes in my backlog, and it's just like, no, I don't think I'll watch any of these. The Atonement chapter. How is your reasoning toward the truth coming along? The next tragedy is ready for you. Enjoy. This is a humorous story with a tragic struggle at the end. The difficulty is 0. You can just enjoy the clowns milling about. Oh, that's nice. I was thinking this was going to be the, No. I feel like this is the one that then it does the thing. The first time I would try harder to avoid the inevitable tragedy. The second time I would be disgusted with the inevitable tragedy. The third time my disgust would turn into anguish. The 7th time, I'd be laughing by then. Frederica Bernkistel, a character that we will meet once we start playing Ubi Neko. It's a work of fiction. This doesn't happen. This location exists, but I don't think to this extent. Why are the clouds pink? Or the sky is pink. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. Their cries came from a distance, echoed loudly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Rena's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She'd say something, but the words would quickly fade away. She sounded so fragile that it made me worry she might vanish into thin air along with her words. But nobody is pressuring her to continue. Mion dusted off the hood of an abandoned car and sat down as if to show how relaxed she was. She actually did look very relaxed, as if she came here to enjoy the cool breeze of the evening or something. Setsuko followed Mion's example and sat down as well. She didn't look nearly as relaxed, however. I thought about following suit, but it felt rude to look away from Nanetta even for the short time it would take to look for a place to sit down, so I decided to remain standing. Rika-chan didn't sit down either, but she wasn't looking at Rena. Everybody else was looking at Rena, but Rika-chan was looking at the red sky. Rika-chan's expression was hard to describe. She looked pale and blank at the same time, as if all of her emotions were gone. Rena wore the same kind of expression. She kept trying to say something, but it seemed like the words were stuck in her throat. She noticed Rika-chan was looking at the sky, so she decided to look that way as well. Mion did the same. So did I. Setsuko looked that way too. And with that, there was silence. It was like we were in a concert hall filled with the chorus of the Higurashi, a concert hall with the highest roof in the world. A refreshingly cool breeze tickled our sweaty bodies. I could almost make myself believe we came here to enjoy the breeze and the sunset. I could only wish that was what we came here for. The shadows of the birds flying across the sky soured to the feeling of our quiet concert. They reminded us that time hadn't stopped. Nobody wanted to pressure Rena. We didn't want time to pressure her either. We wanted... Hello, Rocky Time, how you doing? We wanted to keep the cool red sky as long as we could, so Rena could calm down and talk. Right then, I heard a sound, and it brought us all back to reality. The hood Mion was sitting on had made a noise when she moved to cross her legs. I don't know whether Mion made the noise on purpose or not, but it reminded us that time we had been passing by. The noise took our attention away from the sky and back to the ground. I scared myself. I'm disappointed. Oh no! You tricked yourself. I'm doing good. That's good. Such a tasteless noise seemed to have urged Rena to speak. Rena heaved a small sigh and nodded as if she understood something and looked at us like she always did.
There's one thing I want to say. Before anything else.
She was probably saying it to everybody, but since I'm standing in the middle, with her looking at me, I nodded to her to represent our agreement.
I think I did the right thing.
Her voice wasn't hoarse anymore. She sounded just like she always did.
I wonder how much we're allowed to struggle in order to be happy.
It sounded like a question, but nobody answered.
That's why I really like Mi-chan's club. The one rule is to do whatever it takes to win, right? I think that's wonderful. If we were only allowed to do nice things, and if there was a limit to how much we could struggle, people who aren't happy wouldn't be able to seize happiness at all.
Misfortunes are like a chain reaction, I think. No, I think she's still talking, I don't know.
Misfortunes are like a chain reaction, I think. Once they begin, they're very, very hard to escape. In order to escape the chain of misfortunes, you need more than just luck or even assistance. I think you need to struggle as hard as you possibly can. You need to do your best. That's how you seize true happiness. That's what I believe.
Arika's just sitting there. It's just like, how much do I need to... How much? Nana stopped talking, looked up, heaved a sigh, and opened her mouth again.
But I'm not saying that I expect you to accept what I did. I know that was a very bad thing to do. Didn't you all look stunned a little while ago? That tells me everything.
I've never seen her smile so self-derisively like this. That smile looked unbelievably painful. I could really feel how huge the distance between us was. There's nothing physically there, but I felt as if she's talking to us through iron bars or a chain link fence. That's how great the distance between us was.
But it's okay. There's nothing we can do about it. That's just how things are in this world. If I were you, I'd probably look just as stunned, and I'd say something irresponsible and merciless.
She probably said that to hit back at us. We're just putting on a mask of sympathy, enjoying the spectacle of a clown on the stage. That's why she said that. She probably expected us to say something in return, but none of us knew what to say. Lena looked disappointed for a moment, then turned and clambered on top of an abandoned car. Then she spread her arms out and gave a little twirl, letting her skirt billow up before she grabbed both ends and gave us a graceful curtsy.
Well then, are you ready for a story? This is the story of how Lena Ryugu did our best.
There was no curtain or spotlight. She was atop an abandoned car amidst the trash piles, a stage specially made for her. We tried not to miss a word of what she was about to say. We believed that was the least we could do to not hurt her feelings. Chapter 6. Sumihoro Boshi.
This is the story of Lena saying how she
unalived a sex worker. At least I think it's this chapter. Maybe it's the next one? No, it couldn't be. The next one has to be the other thing. Oh well. Let's say it's winter month like December right now. What would you do if all of a sudden you had a week of hot and humid days with crying cicadas? Would you still wear your coat and scarf? Absolutely not, right? Even though it's still June, it's already summer to us, since we've been having hot days for so long. So it's totally okay to do this kind of club activity in June. At my school, everybody usually does what they want in PE class, but today would be an exception. All my classmates were gathered in the schoolyard. Neon looked over at everybody gathered there, then spoke up loudly.
Hey everyone, you ready?
Yeah! They all raised the water guns in their hands. It's okay to use water guns in June because it's so hot and humid. All my classmates were joining in, so it's going to be a big water gun battle. I'm so excited.
It's so exciting to do a club activity with everyone from class. Yeah! It's going to be so much fun to play outside with everybody together! It's going to be fun for them, but we have to be serious because we can't lose.
Well, yeah, for us club members, every game comes with a risk.
Exactly.
I look forward to the punishment for more careless members are going to suffer. Good luck, everyone. I'm so pumped! Everybody, listen up. Did you all check your guns? Are your tanks full? We're all ready, Maibara-san. We're very good at gun battles.
Tomita and his friends play with water guns a lot, so they might have an advantage.
We're different men today. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun smiled confidently, holding their guns in a practiced manner. Their skills must give them confidence. They even looked different. Does pressure washers count as water guns? I mean, to this club, probably. It shoots water, so it'll work. As we all know, Mion is going to be a tough opponent, but I think Satoko and Rika-chan could be too. What about you, Rena? You can move fast, but you could end up being their target as well, so be careful.
You've been losing a lot of games lately and taking most of the punishments.
It's just that the recent games weren't my specialty. But Katie-kun, I think you've been losing a lot these days too, haven't you?
You have no idea how miserable I was when I had to go home wearing a bra and my mom saw me in it right before I was about to take it off. Oh no, my bra. Yeah.
My last punishment was as terrible as yours. I'm ruined for marriage after having to do that.
Satoko laughed at us loudly while we were shuddering at the memory of the cruel punishments we suffered in the past.
Oh, you've been low on both your luck and spirit. I know why you've been losing so frequently. That's because, you see, you're both losers.
She's right. Once you get used to losing, you just can't stop. Oh my god, what did she do, right? I'm worried too. I don't think they're ever gonna bring it up. Let's see. After all these losses, your fighting spirit fades away. When you can't believe in yourself, nothing goes right, even if you're doing the same thing as everyone else. You. Haven't you realized that Nana and I took these punishments on purpose because we wanted to spare you that fate? You should be thanking us, not calling us losers. Right, back me up, FBI.
Oh, is that so? I'm very sorry for not thanking you enough then.
Satoko, you just added oil to the flames of my rage. I'll make you regret what you just said.
That's the spirit, Kei-chan.
This old man hopes you can at least last long enough to serve as entertainment. Rena, you too. You'd be embarrassed if you were the first ones to get shot, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen.
I too think Vena-san is going down first. Prepare yourself for a bad time. Oh, ho, ho. No, Mi-chan, Satoko-chan, you're so mean. Vena and Katie, go for it. Yay, Ipa.
Mion and Satoko laughed at us as loud as they could, then moved on to tease their next target. Left alone, all I could do was stomp on the floor in anger. Damn it! I'm going to win! I can't let them laugh at me like that again! Oh no, oil fires and water guns, not a good combination, oh no!
I agree. It feels bad to have them laugh at us like that.
It's not only how it feels, it's also how they step on my pride. Damn it!
Like Mi-chan said, it might be true that you can't stop losing once you get used to it. That's why we have to win today, no matter what, so we can get even.
Nena's eyes looked different. She's usually a funny and weird person, but I know she has the determination to do what she needs to. When Nana looks like this, she can be a tough opponent.
Today, I'll follow the first club rule. I'm gonna do everything I can to win.
Oh, you sound determined. You sound cool, but also if you've been going easy on them before. Or, as if? I feel like I misread that entirely. When you have a water gun fight and your friends take it way too seriously, yep, that's this club for ya. Nana smiled. Or maybe you could have called it a wicked grin. She was serious. She was serious about what she said. I could tell that from her expression alone. Among all the club members, Rena is easily the most sensible one. The rule of our club is that we can do anything in order to win, but she's the only one who has moral qualms in doing it. That's why we rarely have a hard time against her, except for when she snaps. It's rare to hear her say that she won't go easy. Damn it. When you grin like that, you leave me no choice. I have to be super serious about this too.
I always have to fight with all I have in our club, but I believe there's a time when I have to get super serious about it. I think today is the time.
Indeed.
Yes!
We pounded our fists together. Usually, when we really don't want to lose the game, one asks the other to work together, but Rena didn't ask this time, which meant that she was going to try to defeat everybody by herself. No, not try. She was going to do it by herself. Rena looked really cool at that moment, but I wasn't scared. If she was seriously going to do it, I'd have to be serious and do it too. My fighting spirit has been dented after many losses, but it had begun to burn hot once more. I don't know why they keep enforcing do, just like, do. I would expect the quotations over it, but not do.
You look good too, Keitsu-kun. You're even scaring me a little. You look like you're going to defeat everybody all by yourself.
I know that's what you're going to do too.
That means we're going to fight against each other at the very end.
We would, if we defeated everybody else. I hope you'll be the last one I have to fight against.
Yeah, me too.
We pounded our fists together again. Does everyone remember the rules? You have to call it out even when you get hit. Once you're hit, you can't shoot anyone. Even if you did, it won't count. Mion, I'd like to confirm the definition of being hit one last time. When somebody shoots you with a water gun, you're hit. I'll break it down more for you, Kei-chan. You're only hit when it's water from a water gun. In other words, you're not hit when somebody splashes you with a bucket of water.
Only direct shots from a water gun count. I'm sure you're not so scared of Satoko-chan's traps attacks now, huh? Oh, I'll still have many kinds of traps ready for you. Lena-san, you'll be my first target. I don't think so. You're not strong enough to take me down yet. What did you just say?
Oh, I can't believe Lena gave Satoko tit for tat. This is going to be fun. Don't you think so, Kei-chan? I don't think so. At least not for you, because all you'll be doing is choosing which one of us is going to shoot you first.
Keitsu-san seems determined to win.
God, I would have loved to have a friend group like that, right? Yeah, they can't snipe people like that. Mion seemed to sense the fighting spirit in me and Lena. I could tell that she's as serious as we are, just from the way she looks. Alright, I like your spirit. Are you all ready to start? Everybody, get to your positions. The ones you drew by lot earlier. Everybody had to draw lots to pick a place to start the game from. It wouldn't be fun if everybody was close together at the beginning of the game. By the way, my starting position was behind the school building. Aw man, that seems rough. When I drew the starting position, I thought about hiding until there was only a few people left like I did in our last game of tag, but a defensive tactic like that wasn't interesting to me anymore. I hadn't been this excited in a long time. My legs were shaking with the excitement. It was my first time experiencing that kind of feeling. I could hear Mion's countdown from some distance away. 3, 2, 1. A single shot of a toy pistol echoed. With that sound, I was already running around the building. There had to have been some underclassmen nearby. I'd usually assumed that somebody else would take care of them, but this time was different. Oh! What? They stood frozen in fear as I ran towards them, screaming at the top of my voice. They took a moment to quickly decide whether to fight or to run away, and at that moment, I shot one after another. Sorry, guys! You just got unlucky with where you started. I felt bad for them because they lost the game so quickly, so I rubbed their heads to cheer them up and then took their water guns. Yes, that was the key factor in this game. You can't put very much water in a water gun. With 10 people around you in a gun battle, the water would be gone in a minute. I abandoned the gun I used to shoot them and held one of their guns in each hand and scoped out the schoolyard. Just like I expected, there was an intense battle happening there. In the short time it took me to take care of the area behind the school building, it seems like most of my classmates were already shot. Right, the good old fear tactic, just run up to them screaming. They won't know what to do. I wasn't surprised though. I kind of knew it would happen. You need to have a high skill to fight in the open schoolyard, especially when most of the club members were there. It must have been like a battle of elephants and ants. What is it that Mion is holding? Mion was holding a different water gun from the one that she had when the game started. She was now holding one that looked like a huge machine gun. Its range capability, its pump-action shooting, and the amount of water it can hold were way beyond comparison. There were no restrictions on what kind of water guns we could use today. As long as it's a water gun, we were allowed to use any kind. Most of us had normal pistol-style water guns from the local toy store or something similar. I would have bought a bigger one like Mion's if they'd had one, but they weren't in stock, and I'd have to order it in. In other words, Mion ordered hers a long time ago just for today. She's always well prepared when it comes to winning. She must have thought that we wouldn't allow her to use the big water gun if she showed it off before the game started, so she must have hidden it somewhere. It looks like most of our classmates were shot right after the game started. Only a few were still alive, trying to survive as long as they could by using the heavy construction equipment as a shield. Neon mercilessly shot at them from various angles to make them come out from behind the shield.
Stop hiding, cowards!
Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were trying their best to resist her attack from behind their shield. It looked like they had no chance against her, but that's actually wasn't true. After all, the two of them were only still alive because all of their experience in water gun battles. They survived the first few minutes of her assault, even though 99% of their classmates didn't, and they were still surviving at that very moment. Mion, however, is still a battle-hardened soldier. She used the advantage of her big water tank and gradually but certainly drove them into a corner. It was only a matter of time until she broke them down. We're cornered! It's not fair that she has a machine gun! All we have to do is survive till her tank runs low. We don't stand a chance against her when she's shooting at us like this. They tried to hold out against her, but all they could do now was to keep running behind cover as Mion strafed closer and closer to them. They wanted to use their 2-against-1 advantage, but it seemed like they wouldn't even get a chance. If they tried attacking recklessly, one of them might get shot and the other would have no chance of winning. So they grew more cautious, placing their bets on their final chance, but that caused their defense to wane. Oh my gosh. Of course, Mion saw through their plan. She was purposely provoking them so they'd lose their patience and start attacking her recklessly. Mion circled around the construction equipment, and now she was standing with her back towards me. If I went up against her machine gun fair and square, I wouldn't stand a chance. So, attacking from behind would be the only way for me to defeat her. Even though she was in a defenseless position, there was some distance between us. I was still too far away, but it would still be better to attack her now than take her head on. Don't hesitate, Keiichi. You won't have this chance again! I stepped out from my hiding place and ran as fast as I could towards her with 2 water guns in my hands. Instead of approaching slowly and silently, I screamed at the top of my lungs. Rah! Mion!
What?
There you are, Kei-chan. Mion seemed a little shocked by my surprise attack, but she immediately pulled herself together. She knew the advantages of her weapon. There's a really cool electric water gun. Oh no, I feel... You know, if anyone were to have an electric water gun, definitely Mion. But she didn't shoot me just yet. She held back, luring me closer. Mion was well aware of how much water she had left. If she had the same kind of water gun as me, we would have had the same rage capability, so it would have been down to our technique to decide the winner. If she was fighting against one of her underclassmen, she would have defeated them easily. Mion immediately calculated her chance of winning against me and figured out that her only chance was to use the advantage of her water gun. She saw the eye of the tiger in me and recalculated her chances of winning in a split second. Really, I can admire how fast she does these things. I ran at top speed to shorten the distance between us. Our strength should have been equal. I had 2 water guns with full tanks and she had a machine gun with a half-empty tank. We both waited for the perfect moment. Your fighting spirit deserves my respect, Kei-chan. I'm not sure if I would have been a match for you today if I hadn't had this gun. I'm disappointed in you, Mion. Your calculations are off today. Did you say you thought you could beat me? Because you don't stand a chance. The moment we stepped within range, Mion and I pulled our triggers at the same time. Mion set her sight squarely on me while I was trying to shoot and run at the same time. Her shot would obviously be more accurate than mine. My shot of water flew towards nowhere. Mion didn't even need to duck, but Mion's shot made a beautiful arc straight towards my chest. I could see the line of water coming straight at me, but I was too unstable to dodge. Mion had no doubt that she got me. You need more than spirit to defeat me. I knew you'd be the first to go down. I'm still disappointed in you, Mion. Your calculations are really off today. Bullshit! You can't dodge that shot. It'll go straight through you and you'll regret the moment you chose to come at me screaming rather than creeping up from behind. You're really disappointing me today, Mion. You could have figured it out if you'd spent just one more second to think. You could have figured out the reason why I didn't creep up on you, but screamed as loud as I could instead. Mion noticed my surprise attack and turned around to face me. In other words, she turned her back on the opponents she was fighting earlier. Those opponents heard my scream and saw that she had turned her back on them.
What's this? Mion noticed her back was wet and cold. She finally understood that the underclassmen she was attacking just earlier had shown their fangs and attacked her from behind. I blocked her water shot with my arm right before it hit my chest. I mean, it still hits you, Keiichi. The line of water was broken into droplets and splattered away. Damn it. I got hit first, so my shot didn't count? You took too long to figure it out. Now get down, Mion. Mion squatted down and covered her head. Now it was me versus Tomita-kun and Okimura-kun. Their reflexes weren't so bad. They knew well that it'd be their next target after Mion was gone. They didn't feel sorry at all for attacking me right after I just saved them from their predicament. I can respect the cruelty and how quickly they shifted gears. They may one day be able to join our club if they keep refining their sense and skill. I'm spiteful enough that I just get one to show my siblings I'm not to be picked on, right? That'd be fun. Although I don't have any of those. Our next target is Mabara-san. Let's get him! It's 1 against 2. We can take him. They were, however, 1 step behind me. It was already too late. For them, Mion was their first target and I was next. But I was different. My first target was them from the start. I didn't even see Mion as my target to begin with, because I knew they'd take care of her. I was pointing my guns at them long before they moved their sights from Mion to me. It seemed like they noticed at the last moment that both my guns had been pointed at them from the beginning, which meant it was already too late for them. I like these dramatic zooms. Wah! I jumped over Mion, rolled on the ground, and landed on my feet. I looked as elegant as an athlete who had just finished a perfect performance. I had a gun in each of my hands, and with those guns, I shot them each in the middle of their chests. So fast. How could the 2 of us lose against 1? Tomita-kun and Okimura-kun fell to their knees in disappointment. I can't believe you did all this, Kei-chan. I guess I'm off today, just like you said. Mion wiped the dirt off her knees, looking frustrated. Don't worry, it wasn't you. Then, why did I lose? That's simple. I twirled my guns at the tips of my fingers. I have to win sometimes in order to keep looking so cool. Right, just let them in the club. They're basically members by now. There were only a few people left alive. Rena, Satoko, and myself. Rena and Satoko were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? No, Satoko was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rena into a corner. Rena was usually gentle and slow, but today she was different. She was very serious today, and yet, Satoko was still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer, even without her tricky traps.
Oh, ha, 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 ha! Do you remember threatening me earlier? I suppose you were just bluffing. You moved well, but I'm still going to win.
Satoko kept moving around, piling her pressure on in order to pin Rena down. She kept shooting, so her tank must have almost been empty, but her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed a bucket near her feet, which was full of many water guns. I understood, seeing that. She had been taking guns from others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets, water, was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into those guns is rather small. To put water through from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. In a battle like this, it would almost be suicidal. I understood that well, so I've been taking guns from the people I defeated, but I could only hold one in each hand. Satoko used a bucket to overcome the limit. Then it looked like she had only 1 water gun left. I'd assumed she had 2 earlier, but she must have used a lot of water during her long battle with Satoko. It looked like she was trying to save her water for the right moment, but with Satoko's fierce attacks, it was obvious that it was only a matter of time before Rena was driven into a corner. However, Rena was also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Satoko to a place where she'd have the advantage. There was a narrow, twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rena's water levels running low, she'd want to turn things around with a single close-range shot. That narrow path was the perfect place for her to do that.
What's wrong? You're slowing down a little. Getting tired? Aha! I appreciate your concern, but I'm not tired at all. I think you should worry more about your remaining water. You haven't shot back at me for a while. Your tank is empty, I suppose. If you think so, why don't you stop hiding and show your face? I will pass. I'm aware you've been holding on to your last shot. One shot is all I need. I'd be nice and shoot you in the forehead. I don't want you to get your clothes wet after all. Oh, ho, ho, ho! I never imagined I could have such a thrilling battle with you, Rena-san. However, with the amount of water you have remaining, I doubt you have enough pressure to make that last shot go far.
Satsuko was right about that. Rena had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolutely disadvantaged situation, Rena didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Satsuko as a threat.
You picked a perfect location for yourself, did you not? I have to tread cautiously.
Satsuko seemed to understand how dangerous Rena's last shot was going to be better than I did, since she was the one actually fighting against her.
I don't play chess very often, but I believe this kind of situation is called a stalemate, is it not?
Satsuko took another gun with a full tank and shortened the distance between them slowly and carefully. A gun with a full tank doesn't only have a long range. It also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot at each other in a frontal attack, Satsuko would have a 99% chance to win. Even so, Satsuko was still afraid of Rena's last shot. Satsuko shortened the distance even further, smiling as if unafraid, but I could tell she was actually full of fear. Satsuko compared this situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess, you can use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner, but in this case, there were only Rena and Satsuko. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Satsuko doesn't have any pieces other than herself. A king can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why while at first glance it looks like Satsuko has the absolute advantage, they're actually on equal footing.
Let us finish this. It's not like us to wait for the bell to bring an end to this battle. You're right. Let's do this.
That's strange, I thought. Rena wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Satsuko. What kind of plan did she have? Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. I noticed something right away. Rena had a different gun. Satsuko seemed to notice it as well.
I had a plan to hide here with when my water ran low. I had a gun in advance.
Damn, she's good. And using a trap at the last moment for a come-from-behind victory, it was as though she was taking Satsuko's best skill from her and firing right back. Life hack, just carry a bucket to overcome the inventory system in any video game, right? It's like a bag of holding, but it's a bucket. Satsuko no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks, but she still looked confident. What was going on? Did she have some kind of plan too?
That gun you're holding right now is very important to me. What do you mean? You would have kept waiting for your perfect shot and would have had come out of hiding if you didn't have that gun.
At that moment, lightning ran through my brain and I instantly understood the situation. Of course! Rena was in a disadvantaged situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Satsuko, since she didn't have a chance to make her shot while Rena was in hiding. Rena had remained cautious in order to hit her with her last shot, and that made it difficult for Satsuko to attack her. However, what if Rena didn't need to take the last shot for a come-from-behind victory? No, I said it wrong. What if Rena got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Satsuko.
You see, I knew from the beginning you'd run over here in order to obtain that gun.
Let Satsuko talk crap, Rena. You don't have to listen to her. Just shoot her right now. Rena thought the same thing. She shot at Satsuko without any hesitation. Why did it sound like a mouse click? But she frowned in confusion a moment after. What was going on? She couldn't shoot? Was her water gun broken? Or did somebody break it?
Didn't you know you can easily break a water gun by putting a little bit of sand in an empty tank and pulling the trigger several times? Oh, ho, 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 ho. You knew I was hiding my trump card here and pulled a cheap trick like that, huh? I told you. You only set one small trap at the last moment. That was the beauty of traps.
When it comes to traps, Satsuko remained a notch above Rena after all. I couldn't believe Satsuko figured out Rena's plan in advance and set a trap to counter it. Rena, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. But it's too late now for you to pick it up again.
Lena was in the worst situation than she was before. She couldn't even take another shot.
Be prepared. You told me earlier that you'd shoot me in the forehead, did you not? Well, I will be at least kind enough to do you the same favor.
Setsuko slowly narrowed her distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rena's forehead. Rena still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought that the game was undecided.
Satsuko-chan, you're not as good as you think you are. What did you say? If you got me with your trap, you'd be as right as the winner to allow yourself the room to breathe and smile like you're doing right now. But all you've done is drive me into a tough spot. You haven't killed me yet. Don't you think it's a little too early for you to act like you've already got me? I thought you were going to say something much scarier than that. It makes no difference because I'm going to get you right now. If I were you, I'd just shoot rather than keep talking. You know why? Because if I didn't, I'd lose. Lose? Are you talking about me? I highly doubt you can fight with a jammed water gun. Do you remember the rule? You're hit when it's water from a water gun. Huh? So, what are you saying?
When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rena. Setsuko was already dead to me. Why? She was going to be shot by Rena within a second.
I have absolutely no idea what you're referring to, Rena-san. What do you think you can do with a jammed water gun? As long as I have water in my gun, I can still fight. Don't you get it yet?
Rena raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of the school building as hard as she could. You could have just popped open the hole and just whoosh. I mean, I guess it's jammed, so, you can't really unjam it, but still. The plastic broke easily and water flowed out of it. As long as the water from the gun hits you, you're dead. It doesn't matter where the water comes out. Rena was right. She just saved herself by thinking it through. If she was using a real gun, bullets would only come out from one end of the gun. But this was a water gun. She could make her bullets, water in this case, come out of any place, not just the barrel of the gun.
What?
Setsuko finally realized that she was standing defensively in front of Rena. Setsuko's trap was successful, but she underestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rena without hesitation before Rena noticed her new water gun was jammed. She was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. A second before Setsuko pulled the trigger, Rena swung her water gun as if slashing Setsuko with a sword. Setsuko fired her bullets, but it was too late. A second before Rena would be shot down, a blade of water hit Setsuko in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face open. With water.
Your endgame wasn't good enough. I can't believe I lost.
Rena ran towards Setsuko, who was just standing in shock, and took her water gun. Rena knew I was her last target and that I was running towards her. Rena! Rena, using her superior mobility, began to duck and weave. We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation. The most item I had in D&D was a jelly mold of holding. You could put stuff in to just fine, but when you retrieve an item, it would come out suspended in a thing of jelly. That sounds fun, actually. That sounds like a really fun idea. Yes. Okay, that was all that was in that lie.
I knew it'd end up being one-on-one battle with you. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me.
I'm seeing you in a new light today. I didn't know you had the guts.
Rather than a new light, I'd like you to see me in a romantic way.
I could try to if you let me win.
No thanks.
Oh no. Her victory is more important than Keiichi's love. We circled around the construction equipment, trying to take shots at each other. We were both sweating like crazy, but I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat tickled as they ran down my body. Rapid bursts of water flew across both of our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or disadvantage. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rena. It was like a dance that I couldn't dance alone, a dance that I could only dance with an opponent. Rena sure is sharp when she gets serious. It's giving me the chills.
Keiichi-san is good too. He's evenly matched with her.
Man, the background music is so loud I can barely hear it.
I can't tell who's going to win.
In fact, none of the observers could tell who was going to win. Neither could we. We had no idea who was going to win. We had no idea when this battle would end. I didn't know why, but it was great fun just to fight against Rena, and I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I never even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both our tanks emptied, shortening our range. Inevitably, it became more and more like a melee than a gun battle. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swinging the gun like a sword. Oh, they're trying to curve the bullet at water. We both came up with the idea to swing the gun hard to generate centrifugal force in order to increase the range of attacks. Would that work with water guns? I dived to duck her shot. I rolled on the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked her shot again and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that our club's water gun battle would turn into a one-on-one close combat like this? Absolutely nobody. Nobody at all. Oh, you think so too, Rena?
You too, Keiichi-kun?
We're both breathing hard, calculating the timing needed to take a closer step. And then we both grinned wickedly at each other.
This is so fun! I don't want it to ever end. Oh, that was Keiichi saying that. Oops! Don't hate me if you lose.
No, never. I'd hate myself for ending this game. But I know I won't be the one crying in the end.
I don't know about that. Your feet are getting weak, like they're made of straw.
Just shut up, that's a weird insult, Rena.
Whoa!
They both look so cool. Maru-san, go! Ryuga-san, you can get him! I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle and finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fight. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count, or I was done for. It seemed like Rena was in the same situation too. The next shot will decide it. I wish we could fill up our tanks and keep doing this forever.
Well, people enjoy things because they end eventually. Flowers are beautiful, especially because they wither.
I see. That's one way to look at it.
It's been fun fighting against you, but this is it.
Indeed. Sorry, but I'm going to end this battle.
Good luck, Keiichi-kun.
Don't cry when you lose.
Let's do this!
Hell yeah! Wow! Whoa.
Which one of them won?
The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sounded like the hand of a watch ticking away the seconds. Neither of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies. Who hit the other first? I don't know, I couldn't see it. Our classmates broke the silence first. They finally realized that our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over. Class Prez, what is your decision? Mion, in turn, realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others, and it took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render her verdict. In fact, Rena and I didn't know who won either. My last shot flew fast and splashed sideways as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure. But at the same moment, Rena's shot hit me in the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins. But we didn't know if it was me or her. That's why we stood motionless, waiting for the verdict to be delivered. This reminds me so much of Gundam fights. Just like so many fights.
Did you see it, Rika? I can't tell.
Class Prez, who won? Everybody held their breath, waiting for Mion to call it. Rena and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us, it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We had both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide the winner. It seems like everybody is thinking the same way.
Eat?
Yeah.
You can't move if you don't deliver a verdict.
Yeah. Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is the loser because it's more fun to have as many people as possible suffer the punishment, but she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continued holding their breath, waiting for her verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen a winner more easily if one of us did even a little bit better than the other. But even if one of us did a little better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie. The two of you did great today. Mion finally started speaking. Kei-chan and Nena showed us significant spirit and skill today. The explosive power you showed us was so beautiful that it's beyond even the highest praise I could ever give. It's very difficult for me to decide who the winner should be after watching such an amazing battle.
Then, you mean we have two winners?
I don't like to have two winners. That's not really the point of our club. However, they were both so good that it's very hard for me to decide who was better. So, I'm going to call it a tie for today. And they'll have another battle some other time to decide the winner. I expected she might settle for a tie, but I never thought she'd make us have another battle. Maibara-san, you were awesome! You were so cool! Ryuga-san, you gave me the chills! It was like, you know? You set our hearts on fire! The classmates ran towards us and praised us for showing them something that cool. Nana and I were finally released from the tension of the battle and dropped to our knees.
Bachi, bachi, bachi.
Yeah! It's a tie!
Too bad. We tied.
Yeah. I can't wait for our next battle.
Can you give me your hand?
Of course. I was going to ask you the same thing. We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this.
By the way,
you're pretty good at that. Huh? I feel like that wasn't supposed to be in two different sets of quotations. Unless Keiichi's like, you're really good at saying by the way.
What do you mean? Mei-chan, you're trying to get away without suffering the punishment, aren't you?
She was just trying to sound cool, but the main reason she delivered that verdict was to protect herself. That's so like Mion, you know? Look, she's running away! Looks like my guess was right. She's so obvious. The bell rang, a sign that the class was over, while we all laughed at Mion. After that...
Good job out there, you two. Here, use this towel.
Rika-chan held out the towel, a big smile on her face. Oh, wait, no. However, Rena and I stepped back and pointed our water guns at her.
Yep. I was already shot many times. I told everybody I was already hit, but no one believes me.
Rika-chan was soaking wet. Why did I have so much issue with that? Rika-chan was soaking wet. Well, nobody believed her because she really could be that sneaky, pretending that she was hit in order to stay in the game.
It's your own fault that nobody believes you. Sometimes it's hard to believe anything you say. Yet, everybody is so mean to me. I feel lonely. I'm lonely like a poor kitten crying in a cardboard box because nobody wants her. Meep, meep.
Boom! The sound came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Rena must have pictured Rika-chan meowing like a cat in a cardboard box. Imagine that being a strat where you just soak yourself in a bucket of water, making everybody believe that you were shot already, right? I feel like with this club somebody would do it.
Rika-chan is abandoned kitten. I just want to take her home with me. Mochikairi.
Ouch. Meep, meep. Boom.
Rena, you're ruining how cool we looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self and jumped on Rika-chan like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika-chan struggles to get away. Come on, everyone! Get back to your classroom now! Chie-sensei clapped her hands and yelled at us from the window at the teacher's office. Let's go! Everyone exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom.
And now I can have a little sip of water because it's a transition. Here we go. What a nice start to this chapter. A beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. I agree with you, Higurashi. That was a very beautiful day. Let's see.
One reason I like my house is because it has good ventilation. As long as there's a nice breeze, I don't have to rely on a fan to keep me cool. I can take down my futon from the windowsill, place my cushion near the open window, and enjoy the cool breeze of the evening. According to my page-a-day calendar, it's June 1983 today. While it's still June, it seemed like summer skipped the rainy season and was already coming up around the corner. This is very abnormal, apparently. Even if it was abnormal weather that only comes around once in 100 years, if it was supposed to come in June of 1983, then it wasn't so much of a big deal. It was inevitable. On the other hand, the sudden evening shower on the way home from school was more unpredictable than anything else. Every day has been in perfect harmony, as if it was all carefully planned. It felt like something good was going to happen this year. How should I put it? It's like the feeling I get when I roll a 6 on the first throw of a board game and start off with a huge lead. When it comes to the die, the more you roll it, the more the total averages out. We actually roll the die many times every day on our lives, so it's not like one stroke of luck is really a big deal to be overly happy with. If I roll a 6 on my first throw and the 1 on the next throw, the total is 7. If you believe in fate, you might say there's a higher possibility of the 1 to come up on the die, but you can never actually tell what number you will roll. That's what fate's all about. You might roll a 6 again. The chance of rolling a 6 twice in a row is 1 out of 36, but if you look at it each throw one by one, there's only a 1/6 chance of that miracle. A glass wind chime Satoko put up yesterday was making a refreshing sound. With that tips, I'm wondering if this is actually the... Like, it would make sense for this to be the chapter where Rena does the thing. But, like, I'm wondering if this is actually, like, the first year this actually happens? I don't know. I awoke from my dream, still feeling excited. I must have had a very happy dream. I already forgot what it was about. It felt as if there was a switch that automatically made me forget my dreams when I opened my eyes. All I could remember was that it was a happy dream. I looked at the ceiling and enjoyed the happy feeling for a while. It was Sunday today. Outside the window, I could hear morning bird song that sounded totally different from what I heard on the weekdays. The morning bird song on weekdays sounds like they're in a rush, as if they're telling me to hurry to school. But on Sunday, it's different. I could tell that the birds are singing simply because they want to tell everybody how great a morning it is. I even felt like the birds that sing on weekdays must be different birds than the ones that sing on Sunday. I wonder if there really are birds that only sing on Sunday. It sounds like a very luxurious job for some reason. It's a waste to listen to such a valuable bird song when you're not quite awake. As I fully awaken, my normal, crude personality takes over, and I start feeling stupid to even think that there might be birds that sing only on Sunday. What the heck, Keiichi Maebara? Get your head in the game. As I yawned and stretched my body, my blood started circulating through my entire body. It felt good. I turn over and look at the clock, which says it's past 10 a.m. I used to go to my cram school on Sunday at 10 a.m. That was before I moved to Hinamizawa. My parents made me go to several cram schools back then. I remember that the one I had to go to on the first and third Sundays of the month was the hardest one of all because I had to change trains several times to get there. I was never allowed to sleep in so late back then. My mom always woke me up early so I didn't miss my classes. That's probably why I've always dreamed of being able to wake up whenever I wanted to on a Sunday. Needless to say, I don't feel that way anymore now that I've moved to Hinamizawa. After all, I can always sleep till noon on Sunday now. My life has changed completely since I moved here. Before, I used to think living in a countryside would be really inconvenient. To be honest, I wasn't even interested in living here. But it was only the first few days that I felt that way. Now I don't feel attached to life in the city or its conveniences. When I think about what part of my life in Hinamizawa I'm most attached to, I'd have to say it's probably my friends. I guess the reason why I'm being so sentimental is probably because I had so much fun yesterday in the water gun fight with all my classmates. Despite my age, I got so into it, I had so much fun. I bet the kids in the city wouldn't be able to play like that. No, I should say they wouldn't even want to in the first place. They wouldn't even realize how exciting a simple water gun fight could be. I went downstairs and saw my parents watching a serious TV program, arguing about the topic together. First of all, telephone services charges in Japan are way too expensive. It's probably because the state has a monopoly. But private companies are profit-oriented organizations. They're not exactly charitable. I wonder if they can maintain uniform service nationwide. The experts on TV are arguing about the same thing. It seems like there's a possibility the telephone service will get privatized. I'm too young to understand how privatization could make things better, but I can easily assume that people will start talking about privatizing the postal services in the near future too.
That's probably a thing, right?
My parents were arguing about the topic fiercely, but they got along very well. Let's put it this way. They get along well, and that's why they argue.
What does that mean when people don't argue, though? Maybe we get along super well.
I don't know, I'm going on a tangent. I don't remember seeing them get along this well when we were living in the city. This is probably one of the things that got better since we moved to Hinamizawa. A cold relationship between parents doesn't bring any benefits to their kids. Oh, Keiichi, you're up early today. Do you want to eat breakfast? No thanks. I'm going out today, so I don't need anything. Are you going out with your friends? Is it those club activities that you always talk about? No, it's not a club activity day. It's the punishment for the game we played yesterday. Someone rang the doorbell. I looked at the clock and noticed it's time to meet Rena. I guess I spent too much time enjoying waking up late. I ran downstairs to get a change of clothes. I quickly changed and ran to the front door. Rena was chatting with my parents. I always feel uncomfortable when my parents talk to my friends.
Hello, nobody. Remember, if you want to do that command, you gotta put it at the front. If you put it at the end, it won't count. It won't do it.
How is it a punishment if you two tied? I guess it's like we're all getting together to do a punishment for everybody else, I think.
There you go. There you go, nobody. Crimson helped ya. I look interesting, I will say that. I don't really have a good description for that. But yes, how you doing, buddy? How are you doing, nobody? Yes, hello! How you doing?
Let's see. I don't remember if I wrote this or not. I always feel uncomfortable when my parents talk to my friends. I'm afraid they'll say something embarrassing about me. If they told Rena that I wet my bed until I was years old or something, she wouldn't wait until Monday to tell everybody in my school, or maybe even everybody in Hinamizawa. Hey, Rena. Good morning. I'm sorry for making you wait.
Keiichi-kun!
Rena and my parents looked at me and laughed. I said good morning and they laughed. I guess I was too late. My parents must have already told Rena some embarrassing secrets about me. I don't want my parents to tell her anything else. So I put on my shoes in a rush and pushed Rena out of the house. I'm doing good. I'm doing good too.
When I got up today, it's just like, man, I'm streaming today. I feel like I haven't streamed in forever. Will I even remember how to stream? But I think I got it. But yes, I'm glad that we're back in Hinamizawa.
My parents waved at us, smiling. Have a nice day. Rena-chan, please take care of Keiichi.
Don't worry. I'll take good care of Keiichi-kun.
I have no idea why you'd have to do that. I don't need you to take care of me. I dragged her away from the house and we were on our way. Just like, please stop talking to my parents before they tell you all my secrets. We rode our bicycles on the town of Okinomiya. It's a long way away.
It's an easy ride to the town because it's mostly downhill, but needless to say, it's a hard ride on the way back. I felt like Thenna was giggling whenever she looked at me. I badly wanted to know what kind of embarrassing information my parents had fed her before I came downstairs. I tried to give her a new subject to talk about in order to get whatever she heard from my parents out of her mind. How come you're so close to my folks?
Well, we are very close because we talk a lot.
When do you talk to my parents? I've never seen you having a conversation.
I see your mother a lot at the grocery store. She's there a lot on special bargain and extra points days.
Oh yeah, my mom keeps a close eye on those. She sticks those notes like that on the refrigerator. There's always all about when and where she can get things cheaper.
Whenever I see her at the store, we talk about what we're making for dinner that night, and we do the shopping together. A few days ago, she told me that curry sauce was on sale and that she was going to have curry and rice for dinner that night, so I did the same.
I remember we had curry and rice the day before yesterday, so you had curry and rice that day too, huh?
Yeah, you had pork curry, didn't you? Pork was on sale that day, so your mom and I both bought some. So when I was eating my curry at home, I knew you were having the same dinner. Oh.
So she knows what I'm eating for dinner almost every day. It didn't bother me, but I did feel kind of embarrassed. Got to lurk for a little,
Okay, have fun lurking, nobody. I usually see your father with your mother at the same grocery store. Your parents get along very well, huh?
Yeah, they like to go grocery shopping together. I think they're a good couple for their age.
I think it's very important that your parents get along well. It's cute that they still go grocery shopping together.
That's enough about my parents. What about yours, Thenna? Do they get along well?
Yes, they do. They're always hugging and kissing, and I'm totally not lying through my teeth. I feel like there's no room for me in the house.
Her parents are a lovey-dovey couple, huh? I've never met Thenna's mother, but I imagine she's just like Thenna. I could easily imagine her mother going crazy about the spot her husband missed when shaving because it looks so cute to her, like sesame seeds on white rice. She must love to touch her husband's chubby stomach because it feels so soft. It was funny how easily I could imagine her mother doing these things.
What's so funny?
I'm curious about your mother now. I'm going to go to your house next time and meet your mother.
What? No.
You talk to my mother. It's only fair that I talk to yours, isn't it?
But my mom isn't as interesting as a person as you think. She's normal and boring.
I can even picture how she looks. I know it. She looks just like you, doesn't she?
What? No, she doesn't. She doesn't look like me at all.
Then why are you acting so weird? Your reaction tells me everything. Anyway, I'm really interested in your mother now. I'm going to see her sometime. Be prepared. I'm going to her.
No way. If you really do come to my house, I'll be so mad at you.
Your daughter has been a great friend to me. No, wait. It'll be more fun if I say something like, I've been seeing your daughter and I'm serious about her.
If you come to my house, I'll tell me-chan and the others the stories from when you were little.
What kind of stories are you talking about exactly?
Well, the one that I heard from your mother is about when you were 4 years old, and the other one is about the slide when you were 6 years old, and another one is when you were...
You got me, Dana-san. I'll never go within a 100-mile radius of your house as long as you live.
Thank you.
Damn it, Mom. I'll remember this. We arrived at the station. The place where we were going today is right near there. It's a restaurant called Angel Mart. We were meeting up with the others there. I was surprised when I saw the restaurant. It's usually a normal and quiet restaurant, but today there were many people in front of it. They didn't look like they were waiting in line to get inside. It looked more like they were just loitering around. They should just line up and go inside like normal people. Wow, what's going on? There are so many people here.
The restaurant has a big event today. I heard that many people are coming from far away.
There's a flag saying Dessert Festa in front of the restaurant. I heard that Angel Mart holds events like this several times a year, and a lot of people come to attend from all over.
Today, only people who have a ticket can get into the restaurant. And one ticket allows for up to 4 people to get in.
I see. So these people are waiting for friends who have a ticket.
Not exactly. Some people have tickets, but don't have 4 people to go with.
So you're saying that these people are just here to find someone who'd like to share their empty seats? At that time, the crowd of people roared in excitement. What was going on? This guy has a ticket! He's trying to get inside! He could bring 3 more with him! How rude! Please, let me join you! If you let me join you, I'll honor you with a rare Angel Mort trading card. I'll come with Fort Field's newest summer issue and its limited edition book. I'll give you the beta version of Higurashi on a mode that lets you change everyone's outfits. I made a deal with you for a modded version of G's figure. I'll give you 10,000 yen for in real money. You fool! RMT was prohibited. Report. Account banned. What? I feel like that last bit was like a reference. I have no idea what they're talking about.
The fans at this restaurant are a little scary, huh?
Anyway, what about our ticket? There are 5 of us. How are we all going to get in?
Shh. You know, Mi-chan's family owns this restaurant, so, you know.
It's so cool sometimes. Then it makes a fist and gets all fired up.
Well, let's go! We're going to dash through the crowd without stopping.
That seems like the best course of action, actually. Okay, we nodded at each other. Since we were a group of 2 at present, it seemed like we had 2 more seats to share. These people might try mobbing us in order to get a share. Oh, Gmod moderators in a nutshell, yeah. We crouched down, getting ready to run. The crowd of people seemed to notice us. Look at them! They're going to force their way through! And he's trying to fill a booth alone with his girlfriend? How reprehensible! We're going to sit with them and crush their lovey-dovey mood! Fight back with the last round! Show them the iron will of the Germans! What? Damn, they were going to tackle us! They'd do whatever it took to stop us from getting inside the restaurant.
Today is the day Mi-chan and the others suffer their punishment.
Oh, right. That's their punishment.
If we can't get inside, our victory yesterday will have been in vain.
I can't let that happen. We exhausted ourselves to obtain that victory. To watch our friends undergo the punishment is a right and
our duty as well.
But no matter how cool we sound, what we're really after is one thing.
I can't wait to see how Satoko-chan and Rika look. I'm taking them all with me.
Hey, you young couple, share your empty seats with us, all nice and quiet like.
We won't let you go through.
I won't allow you to use your ticket for yourselves. You have to share the empty seats with us. All I can hear is a meme where some kid is shooting our DM while some man is being dragged away into the sky. Into the sky? What? Interesting. They reached their hands towards us like zombies. They gradually got closer and closer. We were actually taking it easy, though. In fact, I'd say the situation was rather enjoyable.
It's like we're still in the middle of the game we played yesterday.
Yeah, it's getting fun. Let's kick their asses.
Yep, roger that. It's a lot easier to fight against them than against Mi-chan and Satoko-chan, you know? You know?
Indeed. I'd say with even 20 or 30 of them, it's still easier than fighting against the other club members. They don't have enough people to stop us.
Great! Let's do this.
Yeah. Our enemies number about 20 to 30. If they wanted to stop us, they should have gotten 10 times more people than that. Oh gosh. The water fought back. Oh gosh, let me mute for a second.
Almost drowned. Also, hello Lisa, how you doing? I inhaled some water. There we go.
Star Wars: The Water Fight Backs.
Yes. Hello, just popping in and say hello.
Hello, Lisa. I'm guessing today is probably busy for ya.
Welcome to Angel Mart. Today we're holding a special event. Do you have a ticket? We don't have a ticket, but we were told to give our names. We're Renoryugu and Keiichi Maibara. Let me check on our list. Please wait for a moment. Seems like many fans of this restaurant aren't normal people. I bet they try to get in with lies or fake tickets. No wonder this waitress makes sure to check the list. Anyway, those people were just too freaky back there. There's no way that normal people can get through them without a struggle.
You might be right. But nobody can stop me.
You sure did them in. Did you use your elbows or knees? You hit them right in the middle of their faces. You're a scary person. The way Edena swept them off their feet with super fast invisible jabs was incredible. It even gave me a chill just thinking about it.
That's because they tried to sabotage my chance to take my girls home with me. They must look so cute today. I'm taking them all home with me.
When you're in cute mode, nobody stands a chance. I sure hope they admitted their loss after getting beaten up that badly.
You did great too, Keiichi-kun. At first, I thought you'd be engulfed by them, but they became all quiet and let you through with tears in their eyes. What did you do to them?
Nothing really. I just told them that I'd get into the restaurant and make sure to see everything they wanted to see. And I told them, you might have to shed tears now, but I believe you can get the ticket next time. That's all I said, but they seemed to understand me.
You're so good at that sort of thing. You know, making people listen to you. Yeah, you sure are our club's magician of words.
They're all calling me that now. Can't you please come up with a better name?
I'll think about it.
Edena laughs loudly. Thank you so much for waiting. I confirmed your names on the list. I'll take you to your table. Please follow me. The waitress led us to our seats. The restaurant was completely packed today. It made for a cheerful but sort of crazy atmosphere. All the customers in the restaurant were very unique people, just like the ones loitering around outside. There was an aura of excitement in the store, and it also smelled a bit sweaty. They were also talking excitedly, using special terms that I don't understand, again, just like the people outside. Angel Mart is all about the uniform. You taste food with your tongue, but in Angel Mart, you taste it with your eyes, too. Where's the waitress with the big, heavy pair of melons? I don't see her today. You need to check the shift roster. If you like girls with big tits, you have to come on Tuesdays and Thursdays after 5 p.m. If you like girls with small tits, you have to come on Fridays after 5 p.m. Why do they have that? I regret coming here today. And at the same time, I was really glad that I didn't lose the game yesterday. This punishment might be a bit easier for the girls, but as a guy, I had to undergo this punishment today. I would have been kicked and punched by these crazy customers because they would have been burning with anger. Let me explain. I didn't come here just to eat lunch with Anna today. The punishment is as follows. The losers have to wear a costume that was randomly chosen and help with the event at Angel Mart as a waitress. The winners can enjoy eating desserts, receiving service from the losers. When this punishment was announced, I'd actually prepared myself for the punishment because I thought I'd lose the game like always. I was losing a lot recently, so I didn't think I could win. I assumed Rena felt the same way. Who could imagine Rena and I would do so well as to win? You're great, Keiichi Maibara. You made me proud! Just congratulating himself. Just nobody clapped. Everybody started shouting, clapping their hands, and whistling for joy. I don't blame them. They came here just for the event at Angel Mart. None of them expected to see the waitresses wearing different costumes like this.
Me.
Wait, calm down, Nana. You can't take her home yet. She has to finish her punishment first. Rika-chan appears with glasses of water and wet napkins on a tray. They drew lots to decide on costumes. Rika-chan's costume is the uniform of Angel Mart, which we use regularly for punishments.
Hello. Welcome to Angel Mart.
Rika-chan put the glasses of water and the wet napkins in front of Rena and me.
You look so adorable. Mochikairi.
Rena raised her weird voice, and everybody in the store followed suit. I'm taking her home with me! Just, Mochikairi! Everybody started shouting the phrase. Before I knew it, they were surrounding our table trying to burn the scene of Rika-chan serving customers into their minds.
Rika-chan, you look great in that uniform. It's embarrassing.
Right? It's like, it's fine amongst a group of friends because everybody's used to it, but all the strangers are just like, this is a child, everyone, please. Please stop. Yo, weird. Yeah. It's okay for them to say that, yeah.
It's embarrassing to have everybody look at me like that.
There's something different about the uniform, though.
Good eyes, Naibara-san. Allow me to explain.
Tomita-kun, our underclassman, pushed his way through the crowd. Oh, it wasn't Nana that said that, apparently. Oh, Tomita-kun. Okamoto-kun, too. I didn't know you guys had a ticket. That's not important right now, Maibara-san. The important thing here is the uniform Furude-san is wearing today. As you already know, the uniforms of Angel Mort are designed to bring out the most of a mature woman's features. Therefore, it's normally required to have a certain bodily proportions to wear this uniform. In that sense, this is the least compatible uniform for Furude-san because she is still at an early stage of development. Plus, the other problem was that the restaurant couldn't find a uniform in Furude-san's size. That's why it was necessary to try various measures in order to facilitate her punishment. That is, to wear the uniform of Angel Mort. Therefore, they came up with the idea to use a school swimsuit, and it created an impossible combination of said swimsuit and the uniform of Angel Mort. It's so eccentric that even God couldn't see it coming. In this costume, Furude-san now has an overwhelming attack power, far beyond her normal statistics. She also gained elemental enchantments, stasis, impairment, and a huge increase to her critical hit rate. And on top of that, she also is given increased invisibility time during power-ups. What? I missed Keiichi's logic. I missed his brain. Do you understand how great this is? Do you? You do, don't you? Let me put it another way, like what Ryugu-san always says. Mochikairi!
No, you can't. I'm the one who's taking her home. But I understand how exactly you feel. I'm taking you home, Mochikairi.
Tomita-kun and Okamuto-kun held Dororo's shoulders, and they shouted the phrase in their excitement. The phrase had spread throughout the entire store and was now out of control. Anyway, Tomita-kun and Okamuto-kun surprised me sometimes. For their age, they're so good at giving passionate speeches. They'll probably make it big in the future.
Where's Mi-chan and Satsuko-chan? I can't wait to see them.
At that time, the crowd sent up another roar. I hear Mion telling them to let her through. I don't remember what kind of costume she picked. Kei-san! What's going on? Whoa! Kamela-kun! Oh, it's the Cake Mans! It's the Cake Mans! He still doesn't have a picture. Of course you're here because this is a dessert festa and you're a dessert maniac. Hey, how have you been doing? It doesn't matter how I am. More importantly, what is that? What is going on here? Kamada-kun is in a state of great excitement. Thick veins were displaying on his forehead. The source of that excitement appears through the crowd. Oh! I feel like she needs little cat ears because she has her little hands in the little cat positions. There's no turning back. I guess I got to do what I gotta do. Welcome to Angel Mart. Here is your ultra rare cheesecake. Mion appeared with a cake on a tray. Oh, now I remember what she picked for her costume.
Mi-chan, you look so cute too!
I can't believe I'm doing this. I was going to make Kei-chan wear it. My son, this costume is extraordinary too! Plus, because you know her in person, and because she's the leader of the club who has never lost any games in the past, and also a club president who was always perfect at everything, you can enjoy this 500%! Even the class president who doesn't know what losing is can't escape the punishment. Your club is so terrifying. Yeah, you reap what you sow, Mio. What? Please explain what's going on here, Kay. I thought we were friends because we shared a huge parfait together. How could you not tell me about such a wonderful club? I can't believe you didn't tell me about this. If I knew about it, I wouldn't have joined the baseball team. Where is the reset button for my life? The crowd roars in excitement. What a great club! I've never heard of a club as wonderful as this in my life.
Oh, you can't join our club. Only people who live in Hinamizawa can join.
What? Then I have to move my certificate of residence to Hinamizawa at once. Stop there, Nana. The population of Hinamizawa might double by tomorrow. Anyway, this is beautiful punishment, Kay. Costumes that make women look beautiful are like decorations on desserts. A shortcake, for example, is like a sponge cake if you take away its decoration. But if you decorate it with whipped cream to enjoy the wonderful and mysterious harmony that layers and layers of beautiful decoration create, you can enjoy it with both your eyes and tongue. Oh, that's why this combination is a sailor-style school uniform and gym shorts. It's wonderful! They're both ordinary school clothes, but each is tasteful in its own right. But let's put that aside for now. A school uniform and gym clothes are in the same category, namely school clothes, but they've never been combined together. It's just like in strawberry daifuku. Nobody thought they'd taste good together, but the combination actually brought an unexplored and unknown taste to the world. Just quit the baseball club and join the club, right? Just do it right here, right now. Kei-chan, he's calling you Kay. I didn't know you were friends with this pervert. I'm trying my best not to be friends with him. Wow! What is it? Oh no! A guy tumbled in and landed on his feet elegantly. It was Coach. She's just like, where is Satoko? How dare you? How dare you, Maibata-san? Coach glared at me in anger. He was breathing hard with a scary expression on his face. What do you mean? What did I do? This is what I'm talking about! Bang, bang, bam, bam! At the moment of the scream, 3 different metal buckets fell on his head, and one after another, and a Chinese walk finished the job.
Well, I was prepared for this moment. I was prepared for this the moment my punishment was chosen. See, Satoko, a maid costume was like a matter of life or death to you. I love Satoko-chan's costume. It's so cute.
I won't let you do that. I'm going to take her home with me, or my name is not Kyosuke Iri.
No. If you try to sabotage my chance to take her home with me, you get these.
That's just playing over her head and like repeatedly on Angel Lord. Once Elena goes into cute mode, she becomes merciless. If a rock tried to sabotage her chance to take her favorites home with her, she'd break it into pieces. If it was a river, she'd fill it up with sand. If it was the sea, she'd split it in half like Moses did and walk through it. What? Coach got up on his feet like a zombie. I couldn't believe he could still get up after being hit with all her super fast attacks. That doesn't work on me. Wow, ouch. Nope, that doesn't work either. I'll get up no matter how many times I've been beaten, as long as there's a maid in front of me. Why? Because it's a dream of mankind. Ouch.
No matter what, I'm gonna
Edie was down on the floor, his body twitching, but then I just hit him with a barrage of point-blank range. Anyway, this is really a sight to behold. I'm so glad I won the game, but at the same time, I'm scared to imagine how terrible it would have been if I lost.
This is absurd. Well, I have to wear this for the punishment. I cannot take it any longer.
Satoko, your costume is a lot more decent than this old man's.
You think wearing a maid costume is decent? You are completely messed up.
But, I mean, she has the poofy sleeves. She basically looks like Marisa. And then, stop drooling and sit here. It's the winner's right to be served by the losers, remember?
I don't know which one I'm taking home with me today.
Hey, waitress, what's your recommendation today? What about this fruit parfait?
The cream puffs are very good too. You can get refills of water as many times as you want for free.
Rena's nose was bleeding because she got to keep the waitresses in cute costumes all to herself. I should actually thank her for acting crazy like that, because it made me look calmer than I really am. I was excited as her, and my nose would bleed too if I wasn't careful. I now understand what a slack-jawed smile means. Hey,
Rika-chan, waitress-san, can you feed me? Sure.
Satoko, can you feed me too? And Mion, you massage my shoulders.
Open your mouth. I hate this. Hey, I told you to open your mouth.
Just shoves a cream puff in Keiichi's face. Damn it. Why do I have to massage your shoulders? This old man's service is going to cost ya. The audience gasped at the sight. I bet Angel Mort has never had an event as exciting as this one. Every table had 4 people squeezed in together, but only Rena and myself were at this table, and 3 waitresses in cute costumes were exclusively serving us. They were giving us shoulder massages and feeding us desserts, too. This had never happened before at Angel Mort, and it would never happen again. I see. They're waitresses. And I'd like a glass of water. One of the other customers wanted to get a piece of the wonderful treatment and patted Mion on the shoulder. Hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not a waitress. Ask the real waitress over there for a glass of water, okay? Oh, what? You're not a waitress? You can't serve me?
That's right. You're not waitresses. We have no obligation to provide service to you. Satoko, me and I are here for the winners.
It's not fair! All of a sudden, Kameda-kun screamed, starting to blame me. What do you mean it's not fair? It's not fair that Kei-san could do such wonderful club activities that I can't. Not fair, it's not fair, it's just not fair! Hold on. We took a certain risk to earn this right, so this is fair. We don't think it's fair either. Kameda-kun and Okamoto-kun were standing behind Kameda-kun. First of all, you only won the game yesterday because we killed the Mion-san for you. We felt sorry for you because for you always having to suffer punishment, so we let you shoot us. You should appreciate our sacrifice. Oh, really? This is getting interesting. What do you think, Kei-chan? What do you mean? What do you want me to do? Well, Kameda-kun, Tomata, and Okemura, why don't you challenge Kei-chan and Rena for a position of winners?
What? Mi-chan, what do you mean by that? What do you mean?
They defeated many fighters and won a massive victory yesterday. I'm pretty sure a battle against these guys would be trivial, right? Kameda-kun clapped his hands with glee. Kameda-kun and Okamoto-kun nodded in agreement. They looked fired up already. Damn it, have to fight against them here?
Now that I think about it, the game was a tie. It'll be fun to have a finale here with a few extra fighters. If you lose the game, you join in all the punishment.
Damn it. I hate it when you make it sound persuasive. What do you think, Rena?
I'm fine with it because I'm going to win. I'm taking them all with me. I wonder what kind of costumes you'll have to wear. I want you, Kairi.
She sure is motivated. I could see Kameda-kun was ready to fight for the ticket to paradise at Angel Mort. My 2 underclassmen were also eager to have a chance to fight against the members of the club for the first time. Kyosuke Iri, reporting to volunteer for the game too. Yeah! Oh. Wait. The sound effects made it seem like he was like, yeah! And then just place plants. Well. Okay, Let's start the game with these numbers. Nana and Kei-chan, do you have any objections? I don't think you'd take an objection even if I had one. Well, don't you like to make the game interesting?
It's now or never if you want to change your mind. Tomata-san, Gakumura-san. As you already know, you have to undergo the punishment if you lose.
We know that. We're men too. We've always wanted to fight against you. We've seen the many horrifying punishments we had to suffer, and they still had the courage to join in. Pardon me, I had to admit, they have potential. Kameda, the evil lord of Angel Mort, sneered at the two. I never thought I'd have the chance to fight against you again, Kei-san. I'm going to fight fair and square this time. I didn't expect to fight you here at Angel Mort either. I'm pretty sure you'll be an even tougher enemy to defeat here than in the baseball game. Coach Yeti, the Count of Maids, laughed like he was afraid of nothing. Well, I'll show you how serious an adult can be. And today here at Angel Mort, I'm going to have a harem that is for me alone.
I'll let any of you win.
Alright, I'm ready. I can't keep complaining. Mion, what kind of game are we playing?
That's the spirit.
Make way, everybody. Waitresses, please bring it over. In the kitchen, the real waitresses are standing by with many desserts on the trays. It looks like the game is going to be either speed eating or competitive eating contest. Manager, are you sure we can do this? Yeah, go ahead and bring them the desserts. The more interesting, the better. I want this event to be as interesting as possible. The waitresses checked with their manager and started bringing in the desserts. The two of my underclassmen, Kameda-kun, Coach Vena, and I sat at the table together. A horrific amount of desserts was brought before us. I wanted to enjoy watching the cute waitresses placing the desserts on the table, but right now, I was in a fighting mood. I had no time for that. The audience surrounding our table seemed to have grown excited too. I bet it didn't even cross their minds that they would see a serious battle at Angel Mort today. But they didn't care, as long as it's fun to watch. Listen up. It's a competitive eating contest. Whoever eats the most within the time limit wins. We already know how heavy each dessert is, so we will calculate the total weight of desserts you ate after the game is over. And whoever ate the most weight will win. When the words competitive eating came up, Kameda-kun smiled evilly. Damn it, Kameda-kun had the advantage. Mion-san, can you count the two of us as one person because we always fight together? Yeah, that's fine. Since you're always together, I'll permit it. Damn it, having two stomachs for a competitive eating contest was an absolute advantage too. What about you, Rena? I'm sure a competitive eating contest is a bit of a hard game for a girl.
No worries. If it means I can take these adorable girls up with me, I'd even swallow a table.
I bet you would. I underestimated her. Rena can overcome physical impossibilities once she gets into cute mode. She might even be able to eat food that's heavier than herself. Coach, what about you? Are you good at competitive eating? Naibata-san, as long as there is a maid in the condition that I need to meet in order to get her, nothing is impossible for me. I could see a black aura surrounding him, which I found very intimidating. The glint from the eyes that shone from behind his lenses was sharp enough to pierce an iron board. Damn it, he was in maid mode, which is equally as strong as Adena's cute mode. Shit, I was the only one without any advantages.
Have fun lurking, Crimson.
Are you ready? Set, go! I wasn't ready emotionally, but Mion started the game without hesitation. Damn it, there was no turning back. I had to do this. There were many kinds of desserts before us. Some were easy to eat and some were not. So I had to get the dessert that was the easiest to eat before anybody got to it. What about the yogurt parfait? But of course, somebody seemed to be thinking the same thing. Everybody reached out for the same dessert as fast as they could. A white light flashed in front of our eyes and the parfait disappeared. My hands clashed with the others in midair.
You're too slow. I got it first. Hello!
Odetta took the parfait. She was literally as fast as lightning. Damn it, I knew it. There was no way I could beat Rena in an opening move. Rena took the parfait like a frog catching a fly with its tongue and swallowed it in a single gulp. She did all that in seconds. She's usually gentle and calm, but she's totally a different person right now. Really, it's terrifying. I see. I now understand why people say women always have room for dessert. But in the special environment of Angel Mort, Kamada-kun wasn't far from behind Rena. He grabbed a fruit parfait and swallowed it as if drinking beer from a mug. It looked very dynamic. Kesa, you're wasting your time. You don't even have a 1% chance to defeat me in a battle at Angel Mort. Just watch me. Kamada-kun and Okamuda-kun look at the extraordinary techniques Rena and Kamada-kun are displaying, but they seem to be very calm.
My throat is itchy. Throat, we are busy. Let me cough again.
There we go. They knew their advantage. As long as they kept a steady pace, they could eat more and eat faster than anybody else, because there were two of them. Rena and Kamada-kun were eating very fast, but they might slow down in the middle. So this was going to be an unpredictable race. Son of a bitch. I won't lose this game. I shoved my dessert into my mouth and kept eating. I kept eating. I just kept eating. Ow, ow, ow. Damn it, my mouth got extremely cold when I swallowed a ball of ice cream. How could the others do this so easily? Here's an idea. I could melt it first. I could use some kind of heat to melt it first and then drink it down. Plus, it would also be easier for my stomach to take it when it's not so cold. But how should I melt it? It could take too long for me to use body heat, and I didn't have any other source of heat with me. Waitress, could I order something? I'd like to have a hot coffee. Could you bring it with me in a hot pot instead of a cup? Or in a big pot? Coach! Mabara-san, you're too slow. I also got the idea to melt it with heat. No, damn it. He was one step ahead of me. I could order hot coffee too, but I'd still be one step behind him. I'd have to come up with something to melt my ice cream faster than hot coffee. Calm down, Maebara Keiichi. Think hard. Keiichi-kun held his head, screams that line, and bent his neck backwards. When he gets like this, he always speaks everything that's on his mind, and it's very fun to listen to. I'm confused on why the text is pink. Is it because of Rena? But I had to concentrate. I needed to win this game. I was going to keep eating as much as I can and take all the adorable girls home with me.
I was having so much fun. I was so thrilled that I felt my heart was about to burst. I might have been acting totally uncute, but I didn't care. Exactly because I was having so much fun. Mi-chan always comes up with such extraordinary games. Satsuka-chan loves to play pranks. Rika-chan is very sneaky, but it's impossible to hate her. And Keiichi-kun is always so funny. I enjoy every day. I wish I could express how much I really do enjoy them better than by saying how happy I am. Sometimes I even feel anxious because I enjoy every day so much. There is as much misfortune and pain as there is in happiness and pleasure in this world. And I know very well that they all come to you regardless of how hard you try. You'll have happy days regardless of how hard you try. You'll have unhappy days regardless of how hard you try. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to try hard. I can try to make my happy days even happier and last longer. Yeah, Rena has a good way of thinking. In the same way, I can try to make my unhappy days happier and end faster. I struggle very hard to achieve that. That's why I'm going to enjoy the happy days I have now as much as I can. I must not take them for granted because they won't last forever. They won't. One day, all of a sudden, these happy days will come to an end. I know it. That's why I was trying to enjoy the happiness I received today so I wouldn't regret it. Even if the world ended tomorrow. I noticed my hand stopped moving while I was thinking about these things. When spending time with my friends, I feel so happy that my heart might burst. I even love doing the punishments. They're fun for me. I have friends. I have a place where I fit in. I have time in which to be myself. I have a me that I love. I love everybody. I love Mi-chan, Sadako-chan, Rika-chan, and Keitsu-kun. I love everybody in my class and everybody in Okinomiya.
Oh? Nana stopped eating. I guess she went too fast in the beginning. Okamura, this is our chance. We can defeat Ryuga-san. All of you, you're just wasting your time. You think you can defeat me at Angel Lord?
You're too naive.
Rena-san, come on. I'll never forgive you if you let Coach win.
I'm not going to let anybody win.
I can even swallow the Pacific Ocean if you ask me to. What's wrong, Rena? Are you getting full? I guess you just have to watch my come-from-behind victory now. Am I right, everyone? Yeah!
Nana, what's wrong?
I had left the table.
Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom.
I was just so happy. I didn't care who won or lost this match.
Of course, it's more fun when I go crazy to try and win, but I could never be happier than this. If I could seal this happiness with a piece of crystal, I'd carry it around with me in my pocket. I'd use it as heat to ward off the cold on hard days that are certain to come to me. I know they will. You're not truly happy when you feel happiness. When you're bored with happy days and don't even realize that you're happy, that's when you've achieved true happiness. You only truly feel happiness when you're in the freezing cold environment. That's the only time your heart can feel the warmth of even a small happiness. On my way to the bathroom, I saw a waitress and a customer arguing at the register. The customer was a woman. The waitress was trying to explain that the lady needed a ticket to get a seat because the restaurant was holding an event today. But the lady, saying she didn't know, was still trying to get a seat. After a while, the store manager was called and started apologizing to the lady.
No, it's you! It all started here. It's your fault. You should have put a note outside that said we needed a ticket to come in or something. Why do you expect me to know when there's not mention of it? The eyes met mine. I guessed who it might be when I heard the voice, so I was prepared. Oh, Reina-chan! I didn't expect to see you here.
Oh! Hello! What a coincidence!
I held my hand out for a high five. She gave me one. Listen, Reina-chan, they're so mean. They're saying that I can't get a seat because I don't have a ticket.
It seems that way.
Well, I can't do anything about it, can I? I can still buy some cakes to take home, yeah?
Yes, of course. You can choose anything you want from our selection.
Oh, that's the waitress. Or the manager, I guess. The store manager gave her a fake smile and led her to their showcase. I like this cute one. I think he likes simple ones, like shortcakes. Hey, Reina-chan, what would you like?
What? Me? Are you buying me one?
You really like cakes, huh? You can get whatever you like.
Then, I don't know. I'll take the shortcake as well.
Really? There's so many other cute ones.
Everything looks good, but shortcakes look the best.
Okay, give me 2 shortcakes and 1 petite trianum. We're taking them home. She imitated the smile I usually make. I replied with the same big smile. When I smelled the strong scent of her perfume, it made me sneeze. Oh, are you sick? Lena's perfume and I never seem to get along. I knew it. I knew it was the one where she unalives her. Couldn't all be happy-go-lucky. It's Higurashi. It's Higurashi. It can't all be good. Let's see. What's the new tip? Business card for her establishment. Yep. Rina. Height 168 centimeters. Her 3 measurements are 89, 60, and 87. Hobbies. I'm interested in outdoor gardening. I wanted to make tea with the herbs I grow. I always enjoy your funny and entertaining stories. We should go out somewhere next time in private. Gentlemen's Club, Blue Mermaid. Private manager, Dana Mamiya. Private manager? What does that mean? Does that mean that they kind of like manage all their own business transactions? I don't know how that kind of stuff works. So maybe that's how it is. I don't want to see any sweets for at least 3 days. Ugh.
You tried a little too hard, Keitsuku.
Nana ate a massive amount of desserts too, but her stomach seemed to be just fine. I think girls have 4 stomachs, or at least an extra stomach for dessert.
That is very rude of you to say something like that to a lady. This is what you get for being rude.
Bam. Ow. Satoko had poked me very hard in my bloated stomach. Stop it. Please don't poke my stomach. I'm going to throw up. Satoko and Rika-chan grinned mischievously upon hearing that. A chill ran down my spine. Why were they smiling like that and walking towards me so gleefully? No, stop it, you cold-blooded demons!
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You really think I'd let it slip by to make you just puke? Just puke in public? Mia, your bloated tummy is in danger, Katie.
I need to take a moment before I read that lie. It's a little bit much. I need to mentally prepare.
Your big wiggly tummy is so cute!
Stop it. No. Then I joined Satoko and Rika-chan in torturing me. We were still making a lot of noise outside of the restaurant. I desperately blocked my stomach from their attacks, but someone else hit me from behind. Ow! Who is it? Hello? Nice to see you, Kei-chan and his funny friends.
Oh, Shi-chan. Hello. You weren't at the restaurant today, were you?
I'm working night shift today. I just changed after getting here. How can you go outside the restaurant wearing that uniform? What? I'm not embarrassed, especially not since I had to walk around in a way more embarrassing costume the other day. God, damn it. I was just getting over it. Not since you had to, not me. She just reminded me that I'll never be able to get married. Anyway, I heard that you went crazy in the restaurant today.
We did! We had to, since it turned into a club activity, you know?
You made a big mess in there. It looks like Sis felt guilty, so she's helping the waitresses clean up the store now.
I still think we should help them clean.
Oh, don't worry about it. We can't let customers do that.
Plus, me made most of the mess.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody nodded in agreement. She told me to tell you guys that you don't have to wait for her. You can go home now.
No, we're going to wait. Right, everybody?
Then I asked for our agreement. Of course we decided to wait without hesitation. Satoko, Rika-chan, and I all nodded along. Since we can't help her clean, that's the least we can do. While she says we can go home, I'm pretty sure she'd be sad if we really did leave. Wow, Kei-chan, you grew up. I'm impressed.
We grew up all right. That's because we've been training him well, right? That's correct. Ipa.
You girls always band together when it comes to things like this. I hate girls. They get along so easily just because they're girls. In the end, we ended up making a lot more noise, even dragging Shion into the mess this time. Shion, get back in there and help us clean. Where did you put the washcloths? Oh no, I guess I have to get back to work now.
Mia-chan, do you think it's going to take a while?
What? Why are you still here? Are you waiting for this old man? Don't worry about me. Go on home already. Mion looked happy to see us waiting for her, but she always says the opposite of what she thinks. I wonder when she'll grow up to be able to just honestly say thank you, or just honestly be like, hey, I didn't get any gift. Like, why don't you give me the doll? Why does Lena get 2? We're friends, remember? We'll wait until you finish up.
I wish we could help you. I feel bad.
I told you don't have to wait for me. I'm going to wait for Shion to finish work tonight, then head to her house in Okinomiya afterwards. So you really don't need to wait for me. I do appreciate it though.
Are you sure? I still feel bad. Yeah, me too.
We have enough people, so really, don't worry about it. Go home before it gets too cold.
We understand. I hope you can finish cleaning up. So go for it. Bye.
Woo, thanks. Kate-chan, I trust you can escort the ladies home safely. Please protect them from assassins on their way home. Looking around, I didn't see any ladies who needed an escort. I felt more like I was the one who needed protection. Anyway, we said our goodbyes, making it easier for us to end the day and go home. Goodbye, Mita!
Or goodbye, Mita. See you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow. Alright, let's go then. We waved at Mion until she went back inside the restaurant, and after that, we all got on our bicycles and left Okinomiya. On the way home, we talked about how exciting it had been today, and it looked like everyone was still fired up. We had the horrifying punishment in the competitive eating contest, which turned into an unprecedented battle involving all the customers in the restaurant. And after that, everything got crazy and messy. At first, the waitresses didn't know what to do, but after a while, they ended up joining in. We had a blast.
That was wonderful. Did you see what Tomita and Okimura did? How amusing it was. I felt sorry for Kameda and Iri.
So did I, but didn't you think my speech was great? Everyone in the restaurant was on my side after that.
Keiichi, you might have been somebody really important if you were born in a different era. What, this idiot? He's much too full of himself. An idiot will always remain an idiot, no matter when or where he is born. If he was born 100 years earlier, he might have gotten printed on bills. Money with Keiichi-san's face on it? How pathetic! They would only be worth 200 or 300 yen at most.
Satoko and Rika-chan kept up their continuous chatter. I was a bit tired after today's events, so I just listened quietly. I noticed the wind was getting colder. Our shadows were getting longer as well. Satoko and Rika-chan still had a lot of energy left, but what about Lena? She'd been very quiet. Someone is making food and it smells delicious. Maybe she also had a stomach ache from eating too much. I looked at Lena to see. However, I was wrong. Lena I didn't really know how to describe it. She looked very satisfied. She looked like she really did have that much fun. She looked like she was as happy as she could ever be. I could tell all of that without her saying a word. When I looked at her, it made me realize that the word fun wasn't enough to describe what we did today. Seems like you had a lot of fun.
What about you, Keiichi-kun?
I had a blast too. I wish we could have as much fun tomorrow and the day after tomorrow too.
I feel the same way. I wish from the bottom of my heart that the time we spent in the restaurant today would last forever.
Wow, that's kind of poetic.
Don't you agree, Keiichi-kun?
Rena didn't notice that I made fun of her. I might have been a little tactless. Suddenly, I regretted having said it. I do. I totally agree with you.
But, you know something? Today's not the only day that's filled with happiness.
A cool wind blew through her hair. She smiled at me, and for some reason she looked very mature. Her appearance made my heart skip a beat.
Every single one of our days in Hinamizawa is a wonderful, precious, and irreplaceable day full of happiness. Including the boring days when our club activities get cancelled.
Lena, you think about things in a very mature way.
No, I don't. Honestly, I'm still not done playing around yet. Maybe it's just because I'm still excited.
Lena laughed, and that made me laugh too. Satoko thought that we were laughing because we both said bad things about her, and she started bugging me about it. Once again, she made a lot of noise like we always do.
Well, Satoko and I are taking this turn here. Rika, why not walk with them a little further and turn where the tobacco store is instead? Did you forget our nightlight burned out? Without it, it's too dark for us to sleep. Oh, that would be quite the problem. Oh, I see. You need to go to Makino-san's general store. Then I guess we'll say goodbye here. You'd better take this turn or you'd have to go the long way around.
Makino-san's general store? Oh, right, that's where it is. If they wanted to make a stop at the store before going back to the shrine, turning here would be the quickest way. Okay then. Bye, Rika-chan. Bye, Satoko. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Farewell, Keiichi-san. Farewell, Women-san.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Rika-chan and Satoko waved at us many times, then took the narrow path towards the field. Once the noisy girls were gone, it went especially quiet all of a sudden. It even made me feel as if the sun had set in an instant. I could see my house by now, which everyone called the Maibara Mansion. I didn't notice it earlier because of how fired up we all were, but my stomach was about to burst. The growling in my gut felt like thunder. My body must have been paying the price for me acting like an idiot earlier. There was no way I was eating dinner that night. I needed to tell my mom before she started cooking. But before anything, I had to get to the bathroom. My stomach was churning. Oh boy, it really didn't sound good. Got to the place where I'd always meet them in the morning and say goodbye in the evening. I really did have a lot of fun today.
Me too. Are you feeling okay, Keiichi-kun?
My stomach is growling. I guess I'll just need to get some rest.
You need to train your stomach, huh?
You ate about as much as I did. How did you fit all that inside your tiny body?
That would be a woman's secret.
Banana giggled and tried to avoid giving me an answer. She'd probably hit me if I pressed her about it. If she punched me in the stomach, I'd throw up for sure. So I decided to not go any further. Bye, Edna. See you tomorrow.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
You know, I used to live in the city.
Yeah?
I never managed to enjoy each and every day like this before. But after moving to Hinamizawa, you know, I think I found happiness.
I feel the same way. I moved to Hinamizawa a year ago. I can't believe I'm as happy as I am and spend every day having as much fun as I do.
I see. I'm sure tomorrow will be the same.
That's right. We had so much fun yesterday and today. So tomorrow will be the same.
With all the fun we have every day, I sometimes feel like I'm going to trip and fall sometime. And it kind of scares me.
You fall when you fall no matter how careful you are. That's why I believe we have to enjoy every moment as much as we can.
You're right. We gotta enjoy every day as much as we can.
Well, it's probably time to go. Please say hi to your parents for me. Well, I still have a lot of energy left. So I'm going to go treasure hunting.
What? Are you going there now? You sure are resilient. I'm impressed.
What about you? Would you like to come along? I found a new trash pile that I haven't dug up yet. I might find something totally cute in there.
I'm sorry, but I gotta pass. Besides, it looks like the storm is brewing. I think you should go straight home too.
I usually find something cute when I've had a wonderful day like today, so I'm going there just for a few minutes.
I felt sick enough that I didn't feel like going along with her. If I felt better, I would have gone treasure hunting with her for sure. She didn't want to go home yet because she didn't want the fun day to end. That's exactly how I felt too. I understand. Bye then. I hope you can find something cute.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye. Keiichi-kun waved over and over as if he didn't want to say goodbye yet. But after a while, he was gone. Well, I had to go too, because I was going to go treasure hunting. I love cute things. I had such a wonderful day today that I'm sure I'm going to get lucky at treasure hunting. I definitely will find some wonderful treasures. I pedaled my bicycle with determination. My house was nearby, but I took another street that led to a damn construction site. It might have been okay to go home just then, but I hesitated to go since I didn't want to be seen. I had so much fun today and I wanted to continue feeling happy as long as I could. It was already getting dark, but I felt like it was getting dark faster than usual. Just like Ichi-kun said, the clouds in the sky were growing darker. It might start raining hard, but that doesn't mean I have to go home already. Stop it, Enna. I had so much fun today. You have to stay happy as long as you can. I am happy. I enjoy every day. Enna, say it. Say the magical words. Don't be embarrassed. You're not dumb or anything. I might be able to enjoy every day even more if I were dumb. If so, dumb is what I'd want to be. I'm going to find something so cute and take it home with me. There, I said it. I'm sure I can find something cute. As long as I believe it's cute, anything can be that way. I should fill my heart with happy memories of today and yesterday. I should look forward to the happiness I'm going to receive tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, too. Should I keep narrating Rena's stuff in her voice? I don't know. I reached the damn construction site. A mountain of trash loomed before me.
Actually, I feel like I'll go to my normal voice. If I voice the entire thing as Rena, my voice is probably going to get shot. I parked my bicycle and walked down the mountain of trash and scrap. This place is my castle. It would be incredible if anyone else came to this mountain of trash. I've come here many times and I usually stay for a long while, but I've never seen anybody walk by. This place is the village's blind spot. I heard that many people come here all the time during the dam wars, but it was abandoned after that. The villagers no longer needed to come here, and some people even forgot about it entirely. It seems like they dump trash here at midnight, but I've never seen a truck actually dumping trash, at least. If they dumped new trash more often, it'd give me more time to kill, but it looks like it's not going to happen for a while. I walked down the slope of the trash pile, and all the way down to the bottom, and headed behind another pile. Nobody ever comes here. I've come here many times, and I usually stay for a long while, but nobody has ever come to mess up this place. Not even the other kids from the school come here. They all believe that the arm of the manager of the construction site is buried somewhere in the trash piles, and they also believe the whole place is haunted. They told me that a ghost with one arm still wanders around here, looking for his missing limb. Sadly, I haven't seen the ghost either. I'm not scared. In fact, I'd rather like to meet him. I wouldn't mind helping him find his arm. If he's feeling lonely, I'd want him to be my conversation partner. Rena is so sweet. There's a station wagon buried in the trash pile. It doesn't have tires, but other than that, it still looks like a station wagon. The station wagon is my secret hideout. Unfortunately, the sliding door and the rear doors don't open, so whenever I want to get in, I have to enter the car from the passenger seat and crawl into the back from there. Of course, I take my shoes off at the passenger seat. When you look at it from the outside, it's just a dirty, abandoned car, but on the inside, it's nice and clean because I had swept it out and decorated a little. It took me a long time. The back seats are lying flat because I wanted to have as much space as possible. I found a mattress in the trash pile and put it in that space instead. It was a bit dirty, so I brought a bed sheet from home and covered the mattress with it. I put my favorite cushions on top, and with that, it turned into a perfect bed. I put cushions and stuffed animals everywhere. That's not all. Look at this. I have a bunch of sweets here, too. I have a bag of fruit candy in different flavors, and some cookies, but they're going bad. We'll have to throw them away. My bear-shaped water bottle was empty. Also, she said, look at this. Who is she talking to? Are you talking to Oyashiro-sama, Rena? When I came here to spend some time on Sundays, I usually bring this water bottle with some sweetened tea in it. I have a box of tissues, a flashlight, extra batteries, and other daily necessities in here. I also have a few books to read in order to kill some time while I'm at it. And I have this. What do you think this is? Look! Ta-da! My hideout is suddenly lit up thanks to the table lamp. There's an electric outlet on the side of an old nearby construction office. I thought they'd cut the power years ago, but to my surprise, I was wrong. Electricity is still being supplied to the outlet. When I found tons of extension cords, I came up with the idea to connect them all and make the electricity come all the way to my hideout. Now I can spend time here comfortably with some sweets, books, and lights.
If I wanted to, I might be able to spend the night here. But I may catch a cold since it gets very cold at night. See? This is a very nice hideout, isn't it? I feel like you need to upgrade your desk lamp. You need to have a bunch of little fairy lights. At first, I thought somebody would find it and mess with it, but that hasn't happened so far. That's because nobody comes here, and everybody forgot about this place. That's how this place became my perfect secret hideout. Fortunately, I ate so much today that I'm still full. I can tell them that I was playing with my friend at her house and eat dinner there. I'm going to stay here for a while and relax, and I'm going to treat myself. I loved the water gun battle yesterday. My heart has been pounding since I fought one-on-one with Katie-kun. I also had great fun at Angel Mort today. I'd never experienced such a crazy game with so many people in my life. I was still feeling the after effects, and I was sure I'd have a dream about it tonight. That was why I wanted to bask in these happy feelings. That was why I'm going to treat myself in here. I should take off my shoes and stretch my toes. I should cherish the time when I can be myself. Once I took off my shoes, I felt so relaxed that I didn't want to put them on again. I played all day today, and I was very tired. The treasure hunt could wait. As it got darker, the light on the table lamp became encouraging. It really was getting dark faster than usual. All of a sudden, I heard the sound of raindrops hitting the roof of the car. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. The interval between drops got shorter and shorter. When it became a continuous sound, I began to hear thunder. Even though it was raining heavily, it remained very quiet inside the car, making me feel like I was in a different world. I want to check the audio levels just in case. Maybe I'll turn it just a smidgen down. Just a smidgen down. Because it's like, well, I don't know. The sound is everywhere. We'll just keep it low for now. This rain's kind of loud. Even though it was raining heavily, it remained very quiet out inside the car, making me feel like I was in a different world. It's my castle after all. I felt a bit cold, so I unfolded my big blanket and hid under it. I'm here alone, under the warm blanket that has my scent. Even though nobody knew where I was at the moment, I feel like I was left alone in the heavy rain. I still feel secure and free from anxiety for some reason. I felt like this heavy rain was keeping my enemies away from my castle. I liked it that way. This place is full of small happiness. It's full of my favorite things. That's why I'm happy whenever I'm here. When I put another blanket over me, I felt as warm as I were in my bed. I listened to the soothing sounds of raindrops hitting the scrap iron on the trash heaps, and it made me feel sleepy. This is a castle of trash. This trash came here because nobody wanted it. This is where it lives. This is a country where unwanted refuse lives together. I felt like I fit in here. But at the same time, I knew it was just a temporary place for me, as there's somewhere I had to go back to. No, I shouldn't think about things like that. Whenever I realize that I don't belong here, I remember I'm in the middle of a very dirty pile of trash. I should just doze for a little bit longer. Thinking is poisonous. I wanted to keep myself out of that poison so that the kind of Emma within me could stay pure. A little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. And I closed my eyes. And I want to give Venna a hug. She definitely needs one. My mother was a very busy woman. The harder she worked, the more her work was valued, and she kept getting promoted. She sought to go higher and higher. She was always shining, and she was my hero. My mother started her career as a fashion designer at a small clothing factory in Okinomiya. My father was a designer too. They met through their jobs and soon got married. They lived in a small apartment in Okinomiya, but they moved to my grandma's house, our current house, in Hinamizawa when she got pregnant with me. We lived there until right before I went to elementary school. Now that I think about it, that was the happiest time of my life. I felt happy every day and believed without a doubt that tomorrow would be the same. I was so happy that I took it for granted and didn't even feel the happiness. I really did feel happy every day. I was small at the time, didn't really understand what was going on, but it seemed like the company my parents were working for was having financial difficulties. So my mother and a few other young designers started talking about leaving the company and going independent. After many things happened and the situation grew complicated, they got an offer to work at a big designer firm in Ibaraki, and they took the offer. At the time, I heard my mother saying different words like limited partnership and business alliance, but in short, what she wanted to do was to move to Ibaraki. My mother and her peers were hired because their talent and experience made them immediate assets to their new company. However, my father wasn't one of them. Unfortunately, my father wasn't as talented as my mother was. So, moving to Ibaraki meant that my father had to give up being a fashion designer. My mother's new company had high expectations of her talent and promised her a responsible project. She didn't want to waste her growing talent and passion by living in a rural town like Hinamizawa. So my mother convinced my father to quit his job and move to Ibaraki to support her and help her build her career. Back then, moving meant that I had to say goodbye to my close friends. I didn't want to move, and I kept crying about it. After we moved to Ibaraki, my mother was a big success. Not only did she have a great leadership skills, she was full of energy and believed she made the best use of her talents to succeed. She came home late every night and barely had any days off. When she had a big project, she often stayed entire nights at her office. But when she came home, she always looked fulfilled and wore a happy smile that she had never worn when she was in Hinamizawa. She was shining, and I remember I always wanted to shine like her when I grew up. On the other hand, my father wasn't doing so well. He couldn't find a job as a fashion designer, so he took a clerical job at a small company, but kept changing positions. He couldn't use the experience that he had cultivated, and it was very hard for him, but he was very understanding. He started to take care of things around the house for my mother, who got busier and busier, having one project after another. He cleaned the house, did the laundry, and came to my school events. However, he couldn't cook. He did cook rice, but always bought some side dishes from a grocery store. We ate dinner without my mother more and more often. I guess she's busy again. Every time I said that, he always told me, "Your mother is working very hard, so let's support her, Dana." That was what he always told me. I decided to help my father with the cooking. I thought it was a good idea to learn how to cook since he wasn't good at it. Whenever my mother cooked, I helped her and tried to learn how to cook from her. She apologized for not having enough time to cook for us, but she was happy that I was learning. I think that I wrote in my school yearbook that I wanted to be a clothing designer in the future, just like my mother. But apparently I lacked my mother's exceptional sense of style. She used to tell me, taste is something that you're born with, not something that you cultivate. I remember that I was discouraged to being a designer because of that. Aww. That was why I decided to reach her by getting better at things that she wasn't good at, instead of trying to be like her. I wanted to be good not only at cooking, but also at doing things around the house, such as cleaning, doing the laundry, and grocery shopping. I remember my father was really happy that I did all that for him, because he wasn't good at it at all. He couldn't find a job and spend a lot of time at home, so he seemed to enjoy spending time doing the housework with his daughter more than anything. I started to become better and better at filling in for my mother, and she started to get too busy at my housework to do any of the housework at all, and she moved on to be more responsible position in her job. She took me out to many places, as if to compensate for leaving me alone all the time. She used to say, "Let's go eat something delicious without telling your father," and took me out to a restaurant. She took me to high-class restaurants and amusement parks. Sometimes it was only me and my mother, sometimes it was her friends from work. She took me to a beach barbecue one summer with these friends. I was introduced to her as her daughter, and every one of them pampered me. I still remember there was this one guy who particularly doted on me. He was a good-looking young man. I called him Uncle once, and he got mad at me. Whoops, I skipped. He got mad at me. He was nicely tanned with brown hair. This young man often came with us when we went out. When my mother took me somewhere, she usually made several phone calls for her work during the day, and sometimes she took me out to a place where she could also do her work at the same time. So I didn't feel awkward when people from her work came with us. But I always preferred to be alone with her, so I was happier when we could do that. One day, she took me to a very high-end part of town. Of course, she always spoiled me whenever we went out. She bought me things and let me eat whatever I wanted. But she especially spoiled me on that day. She took me to many expensive-looking boutiques and accessory stores. She was about to buy me something, but I told her not to get it because it didn't look good on me. Without hesitation, she bought it anyway. I remember there were many zeros on the price tag. On that day, I realized my mother's design work had made her a very successful woman, and she was earning a lot of money. We took a break at a ridiculously expensive-looking restaurant that probably charged 1,000 yen for a glass of orange juice. $10 for orange juice? In the 80s? My goodness! My mother clapped her hands and spoke with me with a smile on her face. She asked, Lena, would you like to make your dream come true? When I was in kindergarten, my teacher gave students a topic to draw a picture of. The topic was my dream, and I drew myself eating a mountain of fruit parfait all by myself. What my mother meant to say was that she was going to make that dream come true for me. It was a normal day. It wasn't my birthday or anything. But since my mother always spoiled me when we went out together, I didn't feel awkward about it at all, and I accepted her offer with a happy smile. There were 5 or 6 of fruit parfaits in front of me. I remember I looked exactly like the world I drew, and I felt like I was floating in that dream world. It was too much for us to finish, but we dug our spoons into it as if we were playing in the mud, and we really enjoyed eating it together. It was my first time to experience getting full by eating only fruit parfaits, and I remember I was very happy. I enjoyed tasting the happiness and chatting with my mother. Reina-chan, do you remember the man who went to the movie and had dinner with us last time? Are you talking about Uncle Akihito? Oh, I think I can't call him that or he's gonna hit me. Reina-chan, do you like Akihito-san? I hate him. He always teases me. That's because he likes you. You got along well with him at the barbecue. Well, I get along with him every now and then. Every now and then. My mother laughed. I didn't know why she brought up the subject, but I didn't really pay attention to it because I was too young. Now that I think about it, she was breaking the news. I just didn't notice it. Reina-chan, who do you like better? Your father or me? You! It wasn't that I hated my father or anything, but I thought giving her that answer was appropriate after she spoiled me so much. If I said I'm going to live in another house away from your father, which of us would you like to live with? I'm thinking about divorcing your father and getting married to Akihito-san. At that time, my mother was a very successful woman. I didn't know this at the time, but she was drafted by a headhunter to work at a bigger company, where she was promoted to a higher and more responsible position, one where she could bring the most out of her talent. Of course, the position wasn't the only thing she gained. Compared to my father's low salary, my mother was earning enough money to support a family of 3 and still have some left over. I kind of realized it from the way she spent money. The greater a position she achieved, the more she spent time with people at her level. All of them were bright and talented. Compared to them, my father might have looked unattractive to her. I liked Uncle Akihito, but I liked him as one of my mother's friends, not in the same way I liked my father. I liked my father and my mother equally. And so it was very shocking to me that my mother wanted to divorce him. I felt like it was if the ground below me was beginning to crack. That expression, I realized, actually fit my situation very well. I had to choose which side of the cracked ground I wanted to stand on. My mother told me to live with her at her new house. Her new house meant the house Uncle Akihito lived in. I thought a house was a sanctuary for her family. I believed that a house was a holy place where strangers couldn't easily enter. That was why I couldn't believe her. How could she let a stranger invade such a holy place so easily? Why do you hate my father? My mother looked down and didn't answer. I asked her another question. Why can't you stay with my father? I think that was the hardest and most heartbreaking of all questions for my mother to answer. In short, my mother had cheated on him. She loved another man who was more attractive than my father. It was just that, nothing more. I knew more than anybody that it wasn't my father's fault. First of all, he decided to move from Hinamizawa to support my mother as much as he could. For him, nothing good had come from that. Actually, I think he had a very tough time since we moved to Ibaraki. But he volunteered to be her support and tried very hard to do that. I thought my mother appreciated his support.
Wait a second, she's marrying his father's brother? No, it's not a literal it's not a literal uncle. It's just like, in that way. Like a man that gives off uncle vibes, but it's not an actual blood-related uncle or any related to the father at all. I'm confused when she said uncle, yeah. I know it is confusing, but yeah, it's not, there's no actual relation. It's just like, yeah, uncle. I don't know.
So, I took her decision as a betrayal. I told her that I disagreed with everything, including their divorce.
It would be worse if it was right. It's just like, sorry, hubby, I'm cheating on you with your brother. Gross.
I said it very loudly and made everyone in the store jump. Sure, continue your relationship with Uncle Akihito, but don't divorce my father. I feel bad for him. I feel terrible for him. He has been doing nothing but support you patiently this whole time. How could you do such a cruel thing to him? I screamed as loud as I could.
I'd be like, what the hell are you thinking, Miss Maruga? Right?
Then my mother answered, It's too late. Why? You haven't talked with my father about this, have you? It's not too late. I'm pregnant. I don't know whether my mother actually told him about the divorce in person. A middle-aged woman who called herself a lawyer came to my house several times to talk to my father on my mother's behalf. She sometimes called him too. My father begged the lawyer to let him speak directly to my mother many times, but it never happened. Wow, what
having a lawyer come in and be like, hey, yeah, you're divorced now. You can't talk with her.
I could tell by the way they talked that he had no clue when my mother told him she wanted a divorce. Well, again, I'm not even sure she told him in person. The lawyer told him not to meet my mother, not to call her at work, and many other things too. To top it all off, she told him not to see my mother ever again. Like that's a dick. That's a move, right? That's a move. She wanted to talk, or he wanted to talk to her. That sounds like a vague excuse. Oh, so you're divorcing because you had an affair? Sounds like a convenient excuse to divorce the commitment you made, right? Well, it's just like, hey, instead of actually like being an adult and being like, hey, I'm leaving you. You have a lawyer being like, hey, yeah, you don't have a wife anymore. He wanted to talk to her. He called some of their mutual friends, but he only found out the name of the guy she was having an affair with and nothing more. He asked me, do you know the guy? I told him, I do. I also told him that he was a funny guy and had given me candy many times. I'll never forget how he looked when I told him that. He hit me for the first time. He hit me so hard that his handprint stayed on my cheek for a while. Then he fell on the floor and cried loudly. And then I started to cry too. I didn't cry because he hit me. Uncle Akihito was kind to me, so I liked him and talked to him out of courtesy. No, that wasn't it. Girls had to be kind to everybody. That's what I thought. But I was wrong. I learned in this world that there are people you should be nice to, and enemies you shouldn't be nice to. The enemies are the ones who would destroy my life with their very existence. Whether they mean harm to me or not doesn't matter. Yeah, own up to your responsibility. Think of your actual family and not being like, oops, I boinked. Well, now I can't have my husband anymore. They're like weeds growing in a flower bed. Dandelions are innocent, but they take all the nutrition from the tulips from the soil. That's why you have to pull them out. The dandelions did nothing wrong, but they're the enemy. Enemies are bad people.
The guy was a bad person. I shouldn't have accepted him. I should have rejected him with everything I had. By doing so, I might have been able to disrupt their relationship. By doing so, I might have been able to make my mother feel like their relationship was not going to work. If I tried to do so, my parents wouldn't have had to break up. My father and I cried together, but we cried for different reasons. He must have cried because it happened so fast and it didn't make any sense to him. I cried because I regretted that I let it happen when I had the chance to prevent it. My father stroked my cheek and opened his mouth to apologize, but he couldn't speak and just cried with me. One day, the lawyer let me see my mother. My mother asked me to live with her at her house again. I didn't know what to say, so I just kept looking down and listened to her apologies. No, it's not your fault that your mother is a bad mother, right? But, this happened when she was young, so there's not really much that you can do. It's sad. My father knew that I was going to see my mother on that day, so he handed me a letter and told me to give it to her. I don't know what he wrote in that letter, but for some reason I was able to imagine what kind of things he wrote when I felt it through the envelope. After all, the letter inside the envelope had a rough surface. He must have been crying while writing the letter, and his tears made the letter all wrinkled when it dried. My mother took the letter from me. He told me that she'd read it later, and was about to put it in her bag. I stopped her and told her to read it there. I wanted to see how she was going to take the last words that my father had left to her. But my mother didn't read it. She told me she wanted to read it alone later, and she put it in her bag. She probably didn't even read it. At that time, I realized, no, it was more than that. I should say, I knew, because it was so obvious. I knew that my mother was lying. She had no intention of reading my father's letter. She was going to throw it away when I was gone, but she lied just because she wanted to seem like a nice person in front of me. The slight curl in her eyebrows and lips told me that more clearly than anything else. At that moment, I finally knew something else. The guy she was having an affair with wasn't the only bad person. My mother was also a bad person. Since that moment, the existence of my mother disappeared from my world like dry ice evaporating. I didn't have to hesitate about whom to live with anymore. I don't want to go to your house. The Ryugu home is my home. I don't want to see you anymore. Please don't even call me. But Dana, you live with your father. If you live with your father, you won't have... At that moment, I hated my name for the first time in my life. Please, don't call me Dana ever again. I have to go now. Goodbye. Those were my last words to my mother. No, to the woman who used to be my mother. After that, I spent many days without feeling anything. I didn't know if the days were long or short. I didn't know which season I was living in. It was supposed to be nothing out of the ordinary, not having my mother around. But every time my father saw things that reminded him of her, like her toothbrush, her teacup, her favorite books, he shed tears, which left me frustrated. That's why I decided to completely remove her belongings from the house. I roughly threw her things into a black trash bag. I started to do so frantically. By the time I knocked down her wardrobe, threw her music box hard on the floor, and broke her mirror, my mind was already not working properly. When I try to remember what happened after that, I feel disoriented. That's because the pills the doctor gave me back then made me feel disoriented and lethargic every time I took them. It seems that dullness hit me especially hard, since every time I try to remember that time, it makes me feel disoriented and lethargic, just like the pills made me feel. I destroyed everything that smelled like my mother, but the thing I wanted to destroy the most might have been myself. Even after I threw all her belongings away, I still couldn't stop feeling regret, and I decided to blame myself in the end. Maybe I was thinking that I wanted to do damage to her reputation and successful life by destroying her daughter, destroying myself. When I was about to reach that very last resolution, Oyashiro-sama came to me. Oyashiro-sama told me to go back to Hinamizawa. Yes, all of this was because of his curse. Oyashiro-sama brought the curse upon the Ryugu family because we broke his rule and abandoned Hinamizawa. After I figured that out, everything started to make sense to me. All the crazy things that happened after my mother was gone. The curse of Oyashiro-sama did all of this to us. It was Oyashiro-sama's voice that was telling us to go back to Hinamizawa. That's right. We should have stayed in Hinamizawa. Everything went crazy because we moved. We had to go back to Hinamizawa. I started feeling disoriented again, and a dull pain ran through my head. It might be a scream from within me telling me not to push myself too hard to remember any further. The house where we used to live in Hinamizawa was still there. My grandma already passed away, and the house was the only property she left for us. I remembered that I used to live in Hinamizawa, but all I remembered was that it was a village that I used to live in until right before I went to elementary school. I remembered the atmosphere of the village, too, but that was all that I remembered. I forgot the streets and even the names of close friends I used to play with. The neighbors knew that the son of the deceased woman had come back divorced, but they didn't know us and we didn't know them. So it was almost like we moved to a new place. However, as far as I was concerned, it was still my hometown that I had come back to. And Mr. Ryugu didn't deserve any of this, right? I don't honestly think it's Oyashiro-sama's curse. I think it's Nana's mom was just a crummy person for having an affair and avoiding responsibility. Yeah. Well, I think there's probably like a 50-50 between Oyashiro-sama and her mom giving her trauma. At first, everything was inconvenient compared to life in Ibaraki. It was hard for both of us to adjust, but we renovated the old house, and it was only me and my father. Life here seemed to make my father forget his pain from the divorce. Mi-chan was very kind to me, and I started to get used to my new life too. I did everything around the house, and we gradually went back to a time when we used to live happily. Anybody can live a happy life. People sometimes say that some people are born to be unhappy, but I believe that's just an excuse for people who don't even want to try. I won't give in to fate. I'll never give up trying to recapture the happy memories that I lost. I'm going to become happy to the point where I don't even feel the happiness anymore. Probably. I wonder what Yashio-sama stands on affairs. Right? I feel like they'd probably... I feel like Yashio-sama would be like, wow, your mom's a straight up isn't she? I'm not going to cry anymore. I'll never cry again. I used up all my tears on that night my father hit me. The curse of Yashiro-sama is over because we came back to Hinamizawa. So I'm going to have a happy life from now on. All of a sudden, big raindrops hit the roof of the car and I recovered my senses. It was still raining hard. It had already gotten dark outside. The shadows the table lamp created were very dark and it looked as if there were nothing else around me. If I turned off this light, would everything in this world disappear? I turned off the light. Darkness swallowed me, but cold air and the sound of rain didn't change a bit, and that made me realize that I was still in this world. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. Did the curse of Oyashiro-sama do these crazy things to my family? Or did I convince myself it did as an excuse for myself because I didn't want to feel guilty about the divorce? Nah, it's Oyashiro-sama. Sometimes I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, probably 50-50. Since that time, Oyashiro-sama hadn't come to me. Sometimes I feel like it was a delusion I created because I was mentally ill. But he did come at that time. I'm sure about that. Am I right, Oyashiro-sama? I was unhappy after I left Hinamizawa, but I came back and I'm happy now. But where am I supposed to go now that I'm unhappy in Hinamizawa? Where? Stop it, Rena. Don't think that you're unhappy. I am happy. I will be happy. I can definitely be happy. Suddenly, I felt that if this darkness swallowed me, I'd never be able to be happy again. I found the switch on the table lamp and turned it back on. When I looked at the clock, it was already past 11 p.m. I had to go home. I wouldn't have time to prepare my lunch for tomorrow. At least, I'd have to set the timer on the rice cooker. It didn't look like the rain was going to stop anytime soon. I looked out the window to see the rain, but could only see my reflection. I talked to that reflection in the window. I'm so glad that my father is happy. He'd been acting like he was dead for a long time. The smile on his face is a good sign that he's regaining his former happy life. He became miserable because of me. That's why I don't mind doing things for him until he regains his smile and we become truly happy. When I stay here alone for a while, it gives him some time to be alone with her. Plus, I don't have to fake a smile. But then, my reflection in the window tells me
Nana, you're such a good girl. You're kind to everybody and love them equally. You can make everybody like you. But did you forget something? In this world, there are people you should be kind to, and enemies that you have to reject with all that you've got. I thought you learned that lesson. No, don't listen to her. Your reflection is always mean. She always says mean things and makes fun of my worries. But she always tells me things that I can't say myself. Let's go home, Nana. To your home. Forget about the mean Nana in the mirror. I was a bit hungry by then. After all the desserts I ate, I still got hungry. I almost forgot. Lena-san bought me a shortcake. I've never had a shortcake from Angel Mort, but I bet it'll taste good. I'd have to give my thanks to Lena-san the next time I see her. Lena-san speaks in a way that makes it very clear how she grew up, but I'm sure she's a good person. That's because she's so good to my father. I did everything I could to make my father smile, but I failed. On the other hand, Lina-san can put a big smile on his face so easily. I have to thank Lina-san. I have to thank her for cheering up my father. But I don't know why. I just don't like her perfume.
I wonder why that could be. My summer picture diary and rainy days are on the way. I mean, rainy days are already here. Okay. Oh, those are weird colors.
Today I went to a swimming pool with my mom. Uncle Akihito came with us. I don't like him because he's sometimes mean to me, but he's a very kind and funny old man. He told me to call him Daddy for that day because he was going to play with me at the pool like he was my daddy. My mom called him Daddy. So I did too. Oh no! Uncle Akihito looked very happy and gave me a lot of money. What? My mom looked very happy and it made me happy too. I want to play with him again. I hope my dad can come with us next time.
Gave you money after you calling him the word? So that's a little sus. That's a little FBI open up.
I opened the window, placed my cushion nearby, and prepared to enjoy the weather. But she came over and disrupted my peaceful evening.
Oh, so Rena's mom is a gold digger. That's why she had an affair with him. Yeah, that makes sense. She wanted a sugar daddy.
She came over and disrupted my peaceful evening. She always ruins my time of solitude. You look pleased. Oh, that's right. Wait.
Yeah. I have to figure out where to place everything for the voice.
Hello! I don't know, I think that was more of Rena's. You look pleased. Oh, that's right. You ate lots of sweets for lots of your favorite sweets today.
I don't think that voice fits. Oh well.
This girl loves sweets more than anything.
I like them too, but I can't eat like she does. It'd give me a heartburn if I ate that amount that she ate today.
She seemed to be very happy, so I'll leave her alone for a while.
I've been making my favorite hot and salty food for the past few days, so she must be quite pleased today. It was a very fun day for me too. I just wanted to enjoy the memory of the excitement I felt today by sitting here quietly, enjoying the sunset. But when I looked up at the sky, I saw some thick clouds forming there. The wind was a bit cooler than usual. It might start raining soon. People say that when deep-sea animals come up to the shallows, it's a sign of a big earthquake or a tsunami. We saw a very rare fish that dwells in the deep water in the shallows today. Just as the ancient stories of the sea monsters say, people hate deep-sea animals and tend to interpret them as omens of disaster. It didn't matter if they showed up alive or dead. I said something interesting just now. Even if they showed up alive or dead, it was an omen of disaster. Oh, it might start raining soon.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. I'll get the laundry.
I grabbed a basket and went outside to take the laundry in. The clouds were getting darker. I normally like rain, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it today.
Very interesting. It's a bad omen no matter if they show up alive or dead. I wonder what that could be referring to. what kind of relevance that could be. Let's see. No, knowing these chapters, I'll probably have to end in the middle of it, but that's fine. Hey, good morning, Nana. You're late today.
You're just early today, Keiichi-kun.
I'm not trying to put aside the fact that I'm always late, but it feels good to defeat you once in a while.
Oh, I slept in this morning. I couldn't sleep last night.
Oh, you too? Same here. I was still feeling yesterday's uproar. It took me a long time to go to sleep. Yesterday I had a lot of fun with my friends and went home still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. Visual novels just be super long like that. Danganronpa no different, yeah. one day I'll get around to doing Danganronpa. I just need to figure out like the best, like a good time too. Because if it's... Do you think it would be good before or after Minako for Danganronpa? Because that would also be like a long thing that I would have to take like little breaks in between, like I've been doing with Higurashi. I don't know. I was so pumped up that I couldn't get to sleep. Kind of sounds like I'm a little kid, but given that Anna seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. No, I felt better wasn't the right way of phrasing it. I should say I'm glad to know that we shared the same feeling. Either is fine, I can't wait. When you stream Danganronpa 2, that's my favorite. I'm excited, because like, I know, I haven't played any of the Danganronpas, but like I know what happens in the first one pretty much, and then like the first half of 2, because you know, it was a weird time before it was actually localized. Then I went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things, went home and talked with her parents about how great the day was.
Hey, Mita. Good morning.
Oh, you're here all early. Better watch out for the pigs falling from the sky. Or, wait, no, that was Keiichi. Oh well, they have the same voice. I know I usually make you wait for me, but do you really have to say it like that?
Keiichi-kun was unusually early this morning. Today is full of miracles.
You're one to talk yourself. It's going to be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday, so I'm gonna have fun today for sure. I'm happy, and Neon is happy too. Of course, Lena and my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say it, and I wish these happy days would last forever. Hey, Neon, what are we playing today? What? I don't know yet. Lena, do you have any ideas?
Let's see. We've been playing athletic games for the past few days, so I'd say something not athletic.
You're right. That's a pretty good point. Our club is not only about athletic performance, is it? Of course it's not. Our club members have to have brains, skills, and brawn to boot. So why don't we play some tabletop games today? Everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. They told me that the festival is called Watanagashi, and that it's the biggest event of the year in Hinamizawa. Yesterday, my relatives gathered at my house in Okinomiya, and they started talking about you, Kei-chan. What? Me? What did the great people of the Sonozaki family talk about? Well, my uncle Yoshido is the store manager for Angel Mart, and he saw your performance yesterday. He really likes you now. So I started asking the others if they had heard of you, and I found out that most of them did. They said that you're famous in Hinamizawa. Famous? It doesn't sound like they meant it in a good way. I'm probably more infamous to them because of the punishments you made me do. It's not only that. They said that you blend in well, that you're full of energy, and that you're a little bit reckless. They said it's rare for a young man in this era to have all those qualities. They were really very impressed with you. I felt a bit embarrassed to know that people I hadn't met were speaking well of me. And so, they want you to do something at the Watanagashi festival. You like to draw people's attention, don't you?
Hey, don't assume things and don't decide anything without me. Don't you know I'm a quiet, lonely guy who loves to be alone? Lonely guy? You mean cherry boy, don't you? Ooh. Ooh. Keiji got burned.
Huh? What's a cherry boy? Huh? Kichiko, what does cherry boy mean?
Whoa! Stop talking about nasty things. Ladies don't talk about things like that. I forget what cherry boy means, but I know it's an insult. I think. I don't know. We really were still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Mion and I made a lot of noise, teasing each other on the way to school. Renata watched us and laughed happily. Setsuko and Rika-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were too. From that, I could tell that they also had a good time yesterday. Everybody has been having a good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everybody's happy. It hasn't even been a year yet since I moved here, but... What is it? Well, I'm just glad that I moved here. What's wrong, Kei-chan? You're being sentimental.
I understand exactly how you feel. You feel like everything is perfect, that you've been happy since you moved to Hinamizawa. I think this village has some kind of power to make people feel that way.
Are you happy, Adena?
Yes! I'm happy every day here in Hinamizawa.
Yeah, me too. True, I watched from the anime, but I know what happens not the extra stuff from the game. Yeah, I feel like I didn't look at that for a while. Oops. Hey, don't leave this old man out in the cold. Let me in on the conversation too. The sky was clear, and the few thin clouds were pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. Watanagashi was just around the corner. I'm sure we'll have great fun at the festival too. There will be more and more fun days to come. I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner. Oh man, no, that's a death flag, Keiichi. You've doomed everybody. Man, look at all this scenery. Before everything is gonna go terribly wrong. These are all new pictures. Every single one of them is something that we haven't seen before. Maybe this one? I feel like that one's new. I could be wrong. Gotta love it when I hear someone say some cheesy cliches that spell their own death, right? It's just like, everything is great, nothing can go wrong. It's just like everything wrong in the distance. It's our time. It's time to sneak in.
The last class of the day was finally over, meaning that it was time for club activities. I was sure it would be fun. I couldn't wait. But then Mi-chan received a call and told us something had come up and she had to go, so we didn't have a club meeting today. I was really looking forward to it. There was nothing I could do, but I could at least chat with Keiichi-kun on the way home. It'll be fun! Keiichi-kun sometimes says mean things, but he's very funny. When I chat with him, my depression goes away. Wait, what did I just say? Am I depressed? Nah. I have so much fun every day and I'm as happy as I can be. What did I have to be depressed about? Well, it was obvious. Because Rina-san, my father is happy now. Before he met her, he was like a lamp in broad daylight. Honestly, he was like the living dead. But after he met Rina-san, he started to smile like he used to when he was living with my mother. He enjoyed talking with her and started going out with her. You could probably say they went on dates. Now he looks 20 years younger. Rina-san gets along with my father very well, and she's very kind to me too. There's actually no reason for me to hate her, but the bitter memories of my parents' divorce and my many regrets were gradually eating away at my heart. Was it okay to accept that woman? Nina-san might be the same as how Uncle Akihito turned out to be. Is she the enemy who takes my happiness away with her very existence? With or without bad intentions? Am I going to sit around until everything collapses again? Should I fight the enemy before it's too late? Marina-san comes to my house a little too obviously. Since my father started letting her stay the night, many of her belongings have turned up in the house. My father and I don't smoke, but there's an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room is hers now. In the bathroom, there's a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. I started to feel awkward about those things, and that's when I started noticing it at the front door when I came home from school. Her perfume. I asked my father once if he was thinking about getting married to Rina-san. He looked a little embarrassed, perplexed, and confused. He told me not yet. He knew I was hurt by the divorce. That's probably why he couldn't admit that he wanted to remarry. That's why he said not yet. He'd consider it, but not while I was still living with him. That's what he meant, I guess. There's only one reason why I don't want him to get remarried to Rina-san. I feel offended that my sanctum, my family, is being invaded. I might be being selfish, though. I mean, keeping my father all to myself means, or I know keeping my father all to myself means keeping him miserable like he was before we met Rina-san. He has a life to live now. It's his right to heal from the pain from the divorce and live to find his new love. He wouldn't have to go through that painful life if I had pretended the divorce from. I'm going to restart the sentence. He wouldn't have had to go through that painful life if I had prevented the divorce from happening in the first place. He has a right to a happy new life that lets him forget the pain he never deserved. And I don't have any right to stop him. In fact, I have an obligation to try and return his happiness to him. I have to pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. Then, what should I do to make both of us happy? It wouldn't be that difficult. All I'd need to do would be to give my silent approval of their relationship. My father tells me he won't get remarried until we live together. Or while we live together. That means I should stop leaning on my family, be strong, and live on my own as soon as possible. Although that doesn't mean I can tell him not to go out with her until that day. Have fun, Lurkin. Okay, be back in 15? Okay, you might come back to a different stream, but that's all good to get you in the points that way. Rina-san comes to our house to see him despite her busy schedule, and she even stays the night whenever her shifts permit. They're adults. I have no right to say anything against that. That's why I choose to give my silent approval to their relationship, and try to see her as little as I could. I get along with Rina-san on the surface. I know my father would have a hard time keeping face if we didn't. But it's a very exhausting and painful thing to get along with a person I don't really like. So whenever Rina-san comes over, I spend as much time as possible outside, then head home late. Me-chan's club activities are the most convenient thing to do to kill time, but there are some days we don't have a club meeting. On those days, I while away my time at the garbage dump, hunting for treasure alone, and that's how I started to make my secret hideout. My father could do whatever he wants with Rina-san at home. I don't have to see them together. I can spend my time peacefully at my hideout. I sometimes feel depressed about my life. I sometimes want to talk to somebody about it. But nothing will change, even if I talk to somebody. This is all I can really do. The most important thing for me should be to overcome the sadness of losing my family as fast as I could, and to regain my own happiness. I have so much fun every day. I'm happy every day. Even on the way home, Keiichi-kun was talking about funny things that made me laugh. My feeling gloomy in spite of that was kind of rude. My father should be happy. I should be happy. I should feel sad because I can't separate from my father. Compared to the unexpectedness of the divorce, Rina-san's invasion is a very slow process. I think Rina-san understands how I feel. She treats me very kindly, but she doesn't do more than that. I think she understands that I'd feel uncomfortable if she did. I respect Rika-chan, because she's strong even without her parents. Compared to the pain of losing both her parents unexpectedly, my problem is like nothing. I respect Setsuko-chan's toughness too. She also lost her parents and was forced to live a painful life under her uncle and aunt. Compared to the cruel treatment she had to go through, my relationship with Rina-san is a blessed one. I keep feeling anxious, but that's just because I'm still immature, and because I feel like I'm not ready to separate from my father. I have to be strong like Rika-chan and Setsuko-chan. I have to try my best to be happy. I'm going to live with all my might in order to regain the peace of mind that I lost that day. My assumption that I'm not ready was just a mistake. I should appreciate the wonderful days I spend with my wonderful friends. Just by realizing that I'm happy, the world shines so brightly. Listen. It was just so cute, so I screamed, "Oh,
I bet you did. You're an expert at making the most out of every day.
I am, aren't I? I feel very fortunate to have a wonderful life and wonderful friends. How could I be unhappy?
You're right. In Hinamizawa, nobody becomes unhappy. Everybody stays happy. Hinamizawa is free from misfortunes. Oh, Keiichi. Oh, sweet, innocent Keiichi.
You should have stopped right there, but you just kept going.
I'm jealous of you, Rena. I wish I could be an idiotic optimist like you.
Sounds like you're insulting me, but if that's what I need to make every day wonderful, I wouldn't mind. Would I? I don't have any worries. I feel like I do, but that's just because I'm immature and still want my father's attention. Come on, say the magical words. It'll cheer you up.
It didn't make sense to say it now, but I was going to say it anyways, because it's my magical phrase that always cheers me up. What's wrong with you? That's so like you, still.
That's right. This is me, Rena. I'm not Reina. Reina still wants her parents' attention. Rena is a goofy, carefree girl. She knows that every day is full of happiness, and she has that kind heart to appreciate it too. I should forget about icky things. I should live a wonderful life, free from anything icky. Icky starts with I, and that's why I got rid of the I in Reina. I'm Rena. I'm going to recapture the happiness I lost when I left Hinamizawa. I will overcome any pain and hardship. I can be happy because I got rid of the icky things. I'm sure there are only incredible things waiting for me. Oh, incredible starts with an I too. I didn't think this through. I was almost home, and when my home appeared, I noticed something different there. There was a truck parked out in front of my house. There was nothing on the back of it, but I can tell it brought something here, because I saw some cardboard boxes, blankets, and ropes on the ground. From the front of the house, I heard voices of two young men saying, "Well, I'll be going now." They passed me by as I walked towards the front door. They were wearing some kind of work uniforms. They looked like delivery people. My father was about to close the door when he noticed me. Hey, I'm home. What's going on?
Oh, Reina, I have a surprise for you. My father looked to me to be in a good mood. I didn't know why he was, but whenever he smiled like that, I just wanted to smile back at him. His eyes used to look like those of a dead fish no matter how hard I tried to smile at him. But these days, he could put on a big smile just to surprise me. He had been literally coming back to life since a year ago when we moved back to Hinamizawa. No, since he started dating Rina-san. When I see him smile like that, I'm happy, but at the same time I feel confused because I don't know whether I should thank Rina-san or not. Look, doesn't it look great?
He took me to the living room. He was probably expecting me to go ooh and ah. So whether there was something in the living room or not, I was ready to go ooh and ah for him. Wow. What is this? What did you do? I tried to sound excited and surprised. He was standing behind me, probably smiling with satisfaction at hearing my excited voice. I, on the other hand, was desperately trying to understand what was going on. For a moment, I thought I was in someone else's house. You see, the living room had been completely redecorated. The furniture we had was all basically from the former house in Ibagaki. My parents bought most of the furniture when they got married, so it was all old and a little dirty.
Some of them still had crayon scribbles I drew when I was very little. But all of that was gone. Everything in the living room had turned a pastel color, looking very sophisticated, like the rooms you'd see in soap operas, or like the room that Shion was staying in. The new carpet looked very tropical. The new curtains matched with the carpet. The new sofa looked very expensive. The living room, in general, looked like a resort. Or a hotel room. The channel switcher on our old TV was broken, and we used to use pliers to change the channels. Oof. But it was gone too, replaced by a new one with a big screen. The room's lights had also been replaced by nicer looking ones. The living room looked like a totally different world under the new fluorescent lights.
This looks great, Dad. What made you do this?
I did it to get a fresh start. It's been a year since we moved here. I thought it was time for me to reboot and finally start a new life. I suggested redecorating the house once in order to cheer him up, because he was still in pain after the divorce, but he wasn't interested at the time. He didn't want to get rid of the old furniture he had chosen with my mother, because he still couldn't get over her even though she cruelly broke up with him. I wanted to suggest it again when the time was right. I never thought he'd do it of his own initiative, and probably wasn't his own.
That was a good idea. This beautiful living room makes me feel refreshed. I love it.
I knew you would. But Aina, you always wanted to have a rocking chair, didn't you? I haven't set it up yet, but look, I got it for you.
Hello! Dad, thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! This is mine, right? Right?
Hey, this is for everybody.
I understand, but I'm not getting off this chair once I sit on it.
My father explained the details of his redecoration proudly. He told me that he only did the living room this time, but he's going to redecorate all of the rooms. He sure had become more active. There are some parts of the redecoration I didn't like, but I still thought it was great because it made it happy. I found the old furniture outside in the yard.
Are you going to throw them away?
Yeah, I think we should. The delivery company is coming later to pick them up. Getting rid of the old furniture means putting an end to my mother. I hated the furniture because it smelled like my mother, and I tried to break everything at once. I understand why my father wants to take this opportunity to get rid of them. But for some reason, this new living room makes me feel like I no longer belonged here. My father didn't choose the new furniture. Rina-san probably did. Most likely, my father and Rina-san decided to redecorate the living room and went to a furniture store to buy everything. I tried to think positively. The reason why my father didn't tell me about the redecoration was because he wanted to surprise me. No, my father never really considers things that deeply. So I suppose he didn't tell me because he just didn't think he needed to tell me. I'm sure he didn't redecorate the living room to make me feel like I was no longer welcome. Don't be negative, Anna. My father didn't have any bad intentions. He doesn't want to get rid of me. He doesn't think I'm the reason he can't get married. And yet, why did it feel sad looking at the old furniture in the yard? Why did I feel like I didn't belong? I realized the reason right away. The reason was me. To him, wanting to have a fresh start by getting rid of the things that reminded him of my mother might be an indication of his unconscious desire to get rid of her daughter. My father doesn't really consider things deeply, so he might not be thinking that I'm the reason he can't get remarried, but he understands that he can't get remarried while we live together. By staying with him, I'm torturing my father. It was my fault that he had to get a divorce. That's why I have to support him and help recapture his happiness. I couldn't just keep him all to myself. I'd have to start thinking about living on my own. I don't need to go to the university. I should think about getting a job. But who would hire an uneducated girl like me? Even if somebody did hire me, I wouldn't be able to earn enough money to live on my own. Maybe I should think about working out as a hostess club, like Rina-san does. People only choose the jobs they can. A girl like me doesn't have a lot of choices. Not a lot of companies would hire me or pay the amount of money I need to live on my own. But come to think of it, where is the place I belong? Whenever I end up feeling like this, I miss my secret hideout in the pile of trash piles. I love to get under my blanket and feel the warmth on a cold night. The hideout gets hot and humid during the day and very cold at night. It's not a comfortable place to spend time in, but it might be the place where I can relax the most. More than I can at my house. No, I shouldn't think like that. I shouldn't think that my house has been invaded by Reina-san. I should thank her for making my father happy. Reina-san isn't trying to kick me out of the house. She's trying to get along with me. But I'm not opening my heart to her. I'm the bad one. I'm the bad one. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Satoshi-kun and his aunt didn't get along at all, and she abused him for a long time. Compared to him, my situation is a lot easier. Satsuko-chan and Rika-chan lost their parents and they live together now. They've been through very hard times. On the other hand, I still live with my father. I should feel blessed. I shouldn't think I'm unhappy just because of these things. I am happy. I am blessed. The trouble with me is that I still can't admit that I'm happy. My father kept talking proudly about the redecoration. I nodded at him with a big smile and let him keep at it. Oh, I almost forgot. Reina, can I ask you a favor?
Sure. What is it?
I ordered 2 jackets from the clothing store. It seems like they came in today. I have to help the delivery company pick up the furniture, so can I get you to get the jackets for me?
Sure. Which store is it? I wonder what kind of jackets you got. I can't wait to see them.
No matter what they look like, I'm sure Rina-san picked them out for him. Although I don't mind going. I'd rather go to the store than listen to his stories about the redecoration of our living room. I got the receipt and asked him where the store is, changed my clothes, and left the house. I started pedaling my bicycle and looked at the old furniture in the backyard one last time. They used to be the object of my hatred, but for some reason, they now made me feel sentimental. Is it because I still regret the loss of my mother, even though I hate her? I couldn't let poisonous emotions take over my heart. I understood that in my mind. I just couldn't get rid of that feeling. The old furniture wasn't the only stuff that was kicked out of the house. There was also a lot of junk that I brought home from the landfill. My father was probably going to throw that away too. He doesn't like the junk I collect. He'll probably let the delivery company take it all together with the old furniture. Just like an animal that rubs its scent on its home in order to feel secure, I collected all the junk in order to make sure that I could stay here. No, that's not it. I wanted to bring them to my house because they were abandoned by their former owners, and they needed a place to live. Oh good, I was just like, okay, are we getting to like the halfway point of this chapter again?
Okay, let's see. It's not gonna be a save point, but we're gonna be saving.
Save and load. Look at that, we got here before the text even showed up.
So, let me go ahead. Since it is a little bit after 6, not too much, but just enough after 6 that we need to find somebody to raid. So let's see. Who is streaming? I see Psych is still streaming Apex. There's some Phasmophobia. You know what? We haven't raided Psych in a while, actually. I know it'll be a big change between... why can't I... hello? There we go, there's Psych. I know it'll be a big difference between being in Hinamizawa and going to Apex Legends, but you know what? I feel bad because we haven't raided Psych in like forever. Oh wait, is it just me? Oh wait, no, it might be Psych. It might be, oh well. We still haven't raided Psych in a while, so that's okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, any of the lurkers that might be sitting here. We will have another Higurashi stream tomorrow at the same time as today, and we might have some Rena going a little wild tomorrow. Let's see. Read message. What does do?
I don't know. We'll just do Dragon Raid. I can't think of anything else.
I can't think of any other messages, so we're just gonna do basic. But yeah, we will see each other tomorrow. I didn't turn on my automaton.